Hello and welcome to DCP number 99.
So close to 100.
Very close to 100, which is next week, but it's also 2 podcasts away from Forsaken actually getting released.
Are we doing the time?
We can call, wait. We can call our podcast Forsaken 101.
Oh, gold.
Yeah.
That's podcast gold.
I think it was really cool at Bungie to schedule the Forsaken DLC for our 100th episode. I thought that was really nice of them.
Yeah. Well, 101.
It is nice.
101. Forsaken
Well, I mean,
101.
it's right after our 100th episode.
Forsaken
Yeah,
101.
Forsaken 101. It's Get Schooled on
Yeah.
Forsaken. So,
I thought that was pretty
Entry
classy.
level
Thanks, Bungie.
yeah. Looking out for us.
Obviously, they got our email, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and wait, did we pay them or did they pay us? I can't forget. I can't remember and forget.
They always pay us.
Oh, that's right. We're getting paid. Yeah, okay. Now I remember. Yeah.
We're the shills.
Okay.
I think I left the check in the driver's seat of my Lambo.
Yeah. I think I bought bananas with my check.
Well, one banana.
I have so much
I put
money.
it on layaway.
I just burned mine. Threw it right in
You
in
burn
the
bananas?
fire. It's just
How dare you?
burned them. I love banana burning. You know what?
Paul
you know
Tassi of Forbes, how you doing?
Well, I was going to say.
Good.
You know who
How are
else
you guys?
Loves
Thanks for having me
burning
back.
bananas. Yeah.
Do you, in fact, like burning bananas too? Or would you be against that, Paul?
No, I'm pro burning
these-
bananas. That's fine.
These are
You're okay with
hard-hitting
burning?
questions. We
Wow.
need to get to.
Huh.
You make them goo bananas so that you can travel in time. No one's going to understand
Sure,
that
just
reference because they
traveling
don't watch
bananas?
Steins Gate.
True, I
Tap
don't
these balls.
understand that reference.
Well,
you have to be a full-on weeb for that to happen.
No, it's a very
Oh.
popular series. It's not like an underground show.
but it's a weeb show.
It is an anime. Yeah.
So it's a weeb show. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure people will explain to us in chat what that means.
Awesome.
Goo
But for the-
bananas. Goo bananas.
Ooh, banana. Got it. Paul, thank you very much for coming on the show. For our listeners and people in chat, what do you do for a living?
I write for Forbes about video games and sometimes TV and movies, but I'm here because I've probably written, 200 or 300 Destiny articles in the past 4 years. So that's definitely what I cover probably the most out of any one game.
That's a lot of articles.
So, I wanted to bring you on for one specific reason. I
Okay.
wanted to hear directly
Bucky's good
from
looks?
you. No, nothing like that. I wanted to hear directly from Paul the 5 things I wish I would have known before starting Destiny 2 Forsaken. You know, I mean, like, this is,
Hard hitting facts.
I need to
You,
know.
you scheduled that wrong because it doesn't come out for 2 weeks, so I can't.
I know.
Get time travel.
I'm sure you've already written it, so it's just ready
If
to
there were
press
goo
send.
bananas, you could time travel.
That's
Ah.
right.
That's
just saying.
good, yeah.
Or
So,
Sleep's an option.
so
Flip and
you obviously, you're probably one of all the people that write on Destiny stuff. I feel like you play the most hardcore, or like one of the top. Yeah, what's at your top of your list when you go home to play video games? Is Destiny on that list? You seem to put a lot of hours in on it.
It's been Destiny ever since Warmind. It wasn't always like this. I kind of took a big break after Curse of Osiris because there just wasn't all that much to do. But then Warmind hit, and then I've been grinding for catalysts ever since then when I ran out of other stuff to do. And then Solstice took up a good couple of weeks there by itself. And I don't know, I've been impressed with Bungie just giving me enough stuff to do to keep me around. So it's been nice.
And so, how many of your characters what would you say you main? What character do you main?
Yeah, I knew you'd ask me that, and I actually checked my stats for Destiny 2, and when I was here last time, I mained a Warlock in D1, but all my stats, I think I'm at like something like 150 hours with each class, pretty much.
Evenly spread?
Which
Wow.
I didn't think I was. I'd say my ranking order right now is probably Titan, Hunter, Warlock.
Say that one more time. Your mic cut out.
Total.
Yeah. No, he didn't cut out for me.
Oh,
Titan was his first one. Yeah.
He's just
I heard
better
Hunter
in
first.
Destiny 2. I don't know. Warlock bothers me in Destiny 2 a
Same.
bit. So
Oh, why? I want to get into that. Why does it
Interesting.
bother
Because they're so warlocky, right?
the only class I really like, it's always the floaty jump is never great.
Garbage.
But the only class I really like playing with Warlock is Voidwalker, and even that is still not as good as it was in D1. And I haven't really gotten behind Dawnblade that much. I feel like it's kind of too fast, and the whole aerial stuff isn't as cool as it should be. And then obviously Stormcaller is like in desperate need of a buff and a lot of other things. So that's just not where it needs to be. I mean, it's cool, but compared to the other classes, I feel like you can switch between most of those on Titan and Hunter and have a lot of stuff to do and have like some cool exotics that really boost things. But again, like I don't think Warlock exotics, other than like maybe one or two, are really kind of up to par. But I mean, they keep changing stuff every couple of weeks, so it might change.
Yeah,
but
right.
We'll see.
That's a good point.
So we'll probably have to take a look at your audio in just a second here, but I did want to talk about your approaches into writing for games journalism. How long have you been writing articles for Forbes, or is there other art magazines that you've worked for, or online publications?
Yeah, I've written for a good amount of stuff over the years. I've been with Forbes about 8 years now, full time for about 4, I'd say. That's pretty much the only outlet I write for these days. It's all my time. I've done a couple freelancing things here and there over the years. I used to have my own site, but I kind of put it all aside just to make my main focus Forbes for my day job. So it's been cool, and I hope to keep doing it for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, I always see that little flame next to your name. That must mean that you're doing well.
Oh, I love the like on fire icon that Forbes has for like most red writers now.
When people are clicking your article, you're on fire. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's video game stuff makes you pretty high ranked because that's a really engaged part of the community, and I think that's something Forbes itself has figured out over the last few years. Where we started, where I was like pretty much the only games guy way back in the day, and now there's like 6 or 7 of us who write about it, and we're consistently in like the top 10 of writers for people, getting views and stuff, just because, Destiny, Fortnite, like Pokemon Go, like all these games are just enormous, and it ends up being, if you write decent enough content, it's a lot of views and a big audience, which is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you've been writing for a bunch, often with Forbes. What's your favorite game to cover right now? Like as far as stuff that you've heard at E3 or stuff that you're writing about, looking into?
You mean like looking forward or like currently?
Looking forward to.
I'd say looking forward to. I'm pretty excited about the potential of Black Ops 4. I think I really liked what I played of it so far. I think it could be kind of a good return to form for the series. I'm obviously really pumped about Red Dead Redemption 2, as I think everybody is. And so that's going to be just endless amount of content to get through and cover. And then obviously Forsaken kind of goes without saying, and that's probably my most anticipated thing in the fall, just because how invested I am in Destiny. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Fallout 76, because I'm very skeptical of that right now. And I'm hoping it's better than it sounds to me, but I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that so there's a lot of and I don't want to get into politics, right? But I do want to ask you something.
Let's talk about
Sure.
religion instead.
How do you
Let's
feel?
get into
Yeah. Let's do that.
Let's get into this, all right? No, there's a lot of like hate right now in politics about over journalism, right? And this moniker of fake news. Is any of that seen in the video game industry with as far as in your writings with within games journalism?
Yeah. Well, not to get too politicky here, but the whole kind of current state of politics with Trump doing the whole fake news thing, like that kind of does have its roots in Gamergate from a couple years ago. And that's kind of when we first saw a lot of the same kind of tactics of like this total war being declared on the press. And that kind of seeped into the mainstream and now became this whole alt-right movement kind of thing. And I don't know, people don't really like having that conversation, but in the present state of games journalism, I think you can look at like the recent IGN plagiarism thing as an example of like, okay, here's something that is clearly literally fake news and terrible, and like everyone of all sides rally behind it, including the outlet itself, to be like, this is unacceptable, like, you know, this guy's gone immediately, we're pulling all this stuff. So I feel like when there is an actual problem and not like a fake invented problem with like journalism ethics, that the industry is usually pretty quick to jump on it. It's just that doesn't happen that often, and when it does, it's such a big deal. It's actually really obvious that it's happening, and like what the right course of action is to fix it. So
it's definitely interesting. I was wondering how the IGN issue with plagiarism had resonated across other publications, and if it hit you guys in Forbes, if they had talked to you, if like your editors had touched base with you guys, or is there something like I can understand how that is such a serious topic, and it's so hard to regain the credibility of an organization. And I know a ton of those guys at IGN, and they're amazing people that work really hard, and a lot of good people work there. And I feel like they responded to that really well. But is there any takeaways that you guys, that you heard about at Forbes, or that you took out of that?
I mean, that's kind of just a part of our core training in general. Like, these are pretty basic tenets of journalism, and if you kind of start up in this industry, it doesn't go without saying, but like these are lessons like I learned at my school paper back in college, and like we had a plagiarism scandal then too, and like, you know, you learn all about that kind of stuff back then, and there's investigations and stuff like that. And then, you know, 8 years later, it's a much bigger deal. And I'm not going to generalize, because like I don't think that this is a very one-off case, and some people are like, oh, he's a YouTuber, like he doesn't know, and like what. But I don't think that's a good enough excuse, and I do think that this was such an isolated kind of severe case that you can't really generalize it around.
Sure.
Just in terms of like general recommendations for like avoiding stuff like this happening accidentally, like I never try to like read reviews, other people's reviews, or like other people's takes on news before I've gotten a chance to write my own, just so I don't accidentally absorb something they've said and like use some of their same language. And like that's different than, you know, someone like literally copying and pasting stuff. But
I wanted to reflect on that, and I know it makes a ton of people uncomfortable, and I honestly don't care. I want to talk to you about it so they can deal with that. But
okay.
So you reference people in on Reddit when you're doing you get an idea or something from reading an article in Reddit, and then you use that in your paper. You use that in the article, and you always source your stuff. I mean, it just seems like that's basic journalism 101, and it's just, it feels odd that like they I don't know. It feels odd that someone in that position at that big of a, you know, publication would feel comfortable doing that if for so long.
Yeah, that's why it's almost unheard of. And when I heard about it, I knew it just wouldn't be one thing, because it's never one thing. It's always like this series of events. And sure enough, it's like pretty much everything the dude has almost ever done, right down to his LinkedIn resume, which he copied and pasted from a
hilarious.
template.
I heard that. That was hilarious, actually.
And we had Jason.
He copied somebody else's resume.
Wow.
We had Jason Schreier on the podcast earlier a few weeks ago, and dude, you don't challenge that dude to dig up dirt. I mean, that's like,
Oh my God.
why would you do that?
Yeah, that's
he's like,
baiting the bull right there.
yeah, he baited Jason. So he's like, well, I dare you to find more stuff, and
Challenge
That's like
accepted.
just a straight disconnect from reality at that
I
point.
mean, like, why would you challenge a investigative journalist into the
Especially when you
I mean,
have actually done that stuff.
I mean,
Crazy, right?
I'm like, what an idiot. Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about fun stuff, and that's I did want to your
What's next?
perspective.
Abortion?
Your perspective on the matter was extremely important to me. I think I value you as a writer. You write for a national publication. It's just interesting to me, and I think that the community needs to hear from other writers like yourself that that see this as something that's serious and affects everybody in your profession. But yeah, let's get into the fun stuff.
Okay.
The
The juicy twab.
There was a juicy twab, right?
Thick,
It was all the way juicy.
girthy,
It was juicy.
twab.
Yeah. We got, so before even the TWAB, we got like the little, I don't know
The
if
video?
it's a trailer or if it was an in-game cinematic. Yeah, a new video.
It's a cinematic.
I thought it was
It's a-
in game. Wouldn't it be like after a mission? I thought it would.
Or
Yeah,
set
it
up for a
seems like
mission.
something you'd see like, right at the beginning.
Yeah, that thing looked incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
They've done
Yeah, it was
another
really well
level
done.
of like taking what a cinematic could be and then making it feel like it's in game, but with like crazy ultra graphics. Because he had like he had the dust from double jumping and all that, and like it. They really
It was beautiful.
visualized the experience of being a hunter, which I was very happy about seeing
They
that.
did, yeah.
But then it also made me
Yeah, they did
extremely
really well.
angry afterwards.
I cried.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
felt
it's 8
some
o'clock in
sadness.
the morning and I'm teary-eyed. It was bad.
First thing
They,
that came to my mind is just this visceral anger and wanting to like be there with him, like if he had a fire team, like I was like, damn it, dude, you need backup.
Yeah.
Fair,
I
he's
don't know.
taking on
I want-
8 bosses at once, so I don't even know
Right?
the fire
Right.
team.
And also,
It would have been
he's gonna
fine
do
if we
that.
had Tether, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
also that,
Real
that,
quick,
that
I don't
one
want to
boss.
put any spoilers. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there was basically a new, like I said, a video, in-game video that they showed today. It was about Cayde. It showed Cayde fighting. I don't really explain
there was
a lot
one
for anybody
line.
who's into spoilers. There was a really good line. It was
That made me cry.
action packed, but I don't want to like talk about like the actual content of it too much. But it
That's
was
fine.
Cayde
This is a
fighting,
very
right?
tough line to walk. Where like I've had to debate this too, where it's like, how far do you go to avoid spoilers when the
Yeah.
spoiler is their entire marketing campaign? Like that,
Right.
Yeah, right?
It's
Yeah.
hard because that's kind of a decision they made for you to a certain extent. So I'd be amazed if everyone goes in not knowing anything. That'd be impressive.
Yeah, not
But-
knowing that
Right.
Cayde dies would be like crazy.
That would be
That's
so
not
Whoa,
hard.
whoa, whoa!
Oh,
There was-
spoilers! Oh
there's
god,
actually-
it's been out for 3 months.
This
The action
trailer
in that
was-
video was so intense. It felt so Destiny too, like Cayde
Yeah.
jumping
It
around like a
felt,
hunter
they did
would.
amazing.
New
The
super,
mocap
like
was
he
great,
showed the
too.
new super for the hunters, for the Gunslinger hunters. Like, oh man, it looked great.
Briar,
Also, this was in this trailer was we heard Nolan North,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Nolan North's
Man, he
voice.
did a
he
really
did
good
Cayde's
job.
voice really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was impressive to hear him actually talking for that long of time. And it's like, wow, I can't really tell the difference. I wouldn't have known. If no one told me, I wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
didn't know either. I was like, so is that Nathan Fillion? Because I thought it was going to be, Nolan North. It was impressive. Yeah. The visuals made me see what like Destiny 5 years down the road could potentially look like with graphical enhancements.
Oh my God.
Because of how
Oh,
because of how
yes.
visceral the combat was and how detailed. I was like, this is kind of like looking into the future what Destiny could be like with next gen hardware because it was so well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that's what happens. Is like cutscenes kind of end up becoming gameplay in a couple years down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why
Right.
you don't even see that many split cutscenes away from gameplay these days because a lot of them are just made in engine because the
Yeah.
games look so good. You don't even need
Especially with God of War.
actually like God of War. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
God
exactly
of
what
War
I was
is a
thinking of.
prime example of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really good video, and I felt very angry afterwards. I was like, God, this is beautiful, and God, I'm pissed off.
Doing his
Did
job.
you guys get the feeling like the end of this video leads into that video they showed at the beginning of the summer with Cayde?
It has to, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
just
my,
kinda,
my question was, but his ghost gets
The
killed
ghost.
in
Yeah.
both
At a different
videos.
time?
So I feel like I think this is a real cutscene from the game. I think the original video is going to get
It was just marketing.
tweaked in some way. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think the same result will happen, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to see that exact
the exact
video
shot
in
for
the game
shot.
yet.
Also,
Yeah.
isn't it crazy that one of
Yeah.
those bosses finally figured out that they just have to snipe a ghost to kill us? Crazy, right? That's it.
This is why we don't have our ghosts running around with us. We keep them in a pocket.
Yeah, you pocket that thing, Cayde. Jesus. What if there was a Destiny 1 life thing and like you had to have your ghost out all the time and like enemies could actually shoot your ghost and that was the way you lost your one life? Like there's an actual grave, like here's where you died.
That'd be cool.
Was it last year that Gathalion did that one life challenge thing where he got a bunch of Destiny people to do like play one life through Destiny 1?
Yeah, I did that.
Yes.
It was dead.
Yeah, I did that too. It was infuriating.
It's hard.
I got sniped by one of the Praetorians
Destiny.
outside of Vault of Glass when I was level 16, like literally one tapped while I was on the
Yikes.
on my.
That's funny though.
It,
I remember seeing didn't you die by falling?
yeah, I floofed off the edge.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. I saw the
definitely
floof
don't want
off
a
the edge, and I
warlock.
was like,
So pissed off at Warlocks, man.
I died in the like when you go into the Vault of Glass in that mission, like I don't know which DLC it came out with, but you had to do like the oracles on your own.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
And like I messed up the oracle, so I just like died. No, there was no heroic to it. I just fell over and died.
Yeah.
that's funny.
I forgot that I was doing it, and I jumped into PvP, and
For real?
for real.
That counts. It's
Oh,
gotta be
they
an
also-
obsession.
They also told us that we're going to get a 24-hour free trial of Gambit on September 1st. That's going to go
Isn't that crazy?
Early
It's going to go
Gambit.
live at 10 a.m. Pacific time and end 10 a.m. Pacific time on September 2nd.
I didn't think they were gonna do this.
Same.
I really didn't. I was like, I don't think they're gonna do Gambit. Gambit is so different to what we have right now in Destiny. But one full day of Gambit.
Yeah.
I think
You know
that
what's
was a lot of
exciting
fun
about
with
this
Gambit,
is-
yeah.
You know?
I
It's
think
go-
they're really leaning on it for this.
They are. I think this is a good sign of Bungie being like, we know this is good. Here's 24 hours of playing this game mode.
Well, I'm excited that they chose not to do it on like a Tuesday. You know, it's like they have a talent of releasing this limited release stuff during a work
Currently
week.
looking up
You
September
know-
1st. I'm like,
Yeah,
You know,
it's a
it's in-
Saturday.
You know what it is during though? It's during
is?
PAX.
What's that? Oh,
It's during PAX. So there's a lot of Datto's doing his cosplay on Saturday. So he will not be playing Gambit.
well, I mean, it's
There's
for
a few
24 hours. Yeah. Anyway, well, most of the community is going to be pretty excited about it, and you're going to get to use the new weapon system, or when
Year
all
one,
the weapon
right.
slots are loaded out.
Yep.
So it's going to be kind of a fun week. We're going to get that 1 week meta. We're going to be able to play Gambit for 24 hours. It's going to almost feel like a little bit of have a beta-y feel for actually Forsaken DLC 2.0 or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. I'm very excited about being able to play it early because, like, that mode, I wonder if they're going to give us all 4 maps or if it's just going to be like one map in the trial.
That's a good question.
I would doubt it. I mean, maybe, but I'd
Yeah.
be impressed if they did.
If it's, I think they're probably going to use the build that we
played
played.
it.
Yeah.
So
show
the
build.
Earth map?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows?
You know?
I mean, they are out to impress. You know, like these guys, like by sharing like these huge story things, by giving us Gambit early, like these guys, they get something to prove. They want Forsaken to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And I get to use the Claymore Gambit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. What's that?
What's that?
Honestly,
Scrub
it's a
Lord? Is that what
Gambit.
you
It's a
said?
Gambit
Scrub Lord?
weapon. It is a.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
really good
a
for Gambit.
Good Gambit weapon.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Imagine you get a headshot on a drag. You hear an invader comes and you're just like, you're dead.
Yep.
Bye.
Exactly.
That is
Thanks
gonna
for
be
coming,
nasty.
friend.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's.
But
it's
when you invade, the other team's zone, could you proc the Desperado perk off of their enemies?
no, they're your buddies.
Yeah. You don't.
Oh, that's
You're
right.
like essentially on the
You
enemy.
become one of them.
Yeah, you're on the ads
So,
team essentially when you invade.
Okay.
So we're getting Gambit early, but the raid is coming late. We got 10 days after
The raid-
release of the DLC.
The raid, I think, is coming on time, is what I would call it.
The raid is coming
Yes.
on
Yeah,
time.
it's
right?
not
I
coming
think
early.
Forsaken's going to be
I
more of a
agree.
grind, so I'm not surprised.
Instead of the 4
10
days we'd normally get between a DLC releasing and a new raid, we're getting 10 days. It's actually going to release on, I lost the date. I can't find it.
It's on the
14th?
14th? Yeah, September 14th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Pacific.
Is that just the raid, or can you get to Dreaming City before that, or will it be the whole?
I'm assuming Dreaming
thing?
City is after you complete the story. So Tangled Shore
It
is
says
done.
a week after you've set foot on the Tangled Shore. So they don't even clarify that, and
Do you think?
that's a good
Do
question.
you think Dreaming City is going to be time gated?
I hope not.
I feel like it's got to be something you're like after the campaign that you go straight to. I don't think they time gate the whole area. Maybe the
Yeah.
raid
Yeah.
part of the area, but
Yeah.
I think they're going to want to. There's no reason to time gate the whole Dreaming City, but I mean,
They
who knows?
show like this giant door in the TWAB, right?
Yep.
And,
Yes.
like I kind of assume that is the gate for the
The
raid.
door to the raid,
Fair
yeah. Because
assumption.
we've seen in some trailers, right, where they walk through, and they always said everyone in the instance is going to be able to see people walking into the raid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The name of the raid is
door.
interesting too. It's called Last Wish, which
It
reminds
is.
me of
Maybe we get the last word. Last word raid
Isn't that a
weapon,
bow?
guys.
I thought there was a bow called the Last Wish.
Wish
That's
Ender.
Wish Ender.
A wish ender. Oh, there you go.
It's if you get the last
It's
word.
very
kill
similar.
If there was
them
a quest
together.
to do the last word that came from the raid, oh my god!
That would be a
People will
cool
be
thing.
angry. Reddit will be upset.
Let Reddit be upset. They, you know,
Reddit's already upset.
they're constantly upset. It's just
You're not
more
wrong.
fire
You're not
for
wrong.
being upset. Like that would just be incredible. I would love it.
So Last Wish,
There's no-
like it
there's no
reminds
way.
me of like a dying man's last wish, right?
Yes.
So perhaps
you're
like
right,
Aldrin
Brian.
will be the boss of this raid. Like Cayde's last wish, go kill Aldrin, or whatever his last wish is. Like that's ultimately the end of the story.
Aldrin,
No, you don't
Aldrin's the
think so?
boss of the campaign. You kill him and you get Ace of Spades as your reward exotic, and then you do all the other stuff. That's what I'm thinking. And then they're going to
Yeah.
have the big, I don't know, whatever the. It's a
So
a female raid boss, right? Didn't they say that?
Yeah, they did actually, didn't
So, Savathun or whatever, the big dragon
The-
thing, or one of those.
The last wish is to bring peace to the awoken. There you go. That's the last wish.
Yes,
Yeah.
Destiny, the game about peace. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're not. I don't know. I feel like this is not going to be. Once again, this is a total out of the box wild theory, and there's no basis on this in reality. So I have no evidence of this. But this raid, I feel like it's not going to be a huge monolithic raid. Where I feel like we're going to fight those 10 bosses in some way in this format and some sort of
In the raid?
rotating layer scenario.
I think the 10 bosses are going to be kind of spread throughout like different patrol locations. I think the raid is going to be.
That's part of the story.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to have
Yeah, the
anything to do with
down
the raid.
the Barrens.
Like they said there's going to be a
Are there
lot of
Storm
bosses
in
in
the
the
raid?
raid.
Do we
What's
know
that?
the enemy type of in the raid?
Yeah.
So I feel like that'd be
that
weird if it was Scorn, but I don't know. Just an all Taken raid, just Taken start to finish.
Yeah, right?
Taken awoken witch ladies.
I think
Yeah.
kind of like how
So-
Leviathan was a bit of a surprise for where they were taking us and all that, because it was not really the story. I think the same type
Yeah.
of thing is going to happen where it's going to be its own narrative. Like this is, I don't think it's going to have to do with the main story. I could be wrong. I know there's been a bunch of leaks and spoilers and crap like that. I haven't paid any attention to
Yeah, I
them
haven't watched any of it.
because I don't want to know. So speculatively from myself, I think it's going to be more of its own thing in the Dreaming City.
I think it's its own thing,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's related to just the Awoken, right? And it's their dark nightmare thing that's going on with the Awoken in the Dreaming City. So I think it's going to be about that, which is totally different
Yeah.
to Scorn and Barrens.
There's been like a citywide food poisoning and everybody's having a rough time. You have to go in
And everyone's
like,
got some taken squirrely arms.
Did you eat the
Yep.
Jello? Don't eat the Jello.
I mean, the
I ate
Jello,
the Jell-O.
gives you
Now they got Jello arms.
it gives you a case of the nasties and you got to be put down. Yeah.
I love that I don't know anything about it, and that I love how secretive the raid team is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's such
I've
a
always
big
liked
part
that.
of the experience for me. And do we have plans for our first world first win?
Of course. We just
Yeah.
haven't solidified them yet.
Yeah. We are going to
CC
have a
Kuhn
world's first
already
team,
started
right?
a Twitter chat, I noticed.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll
We'll
I'm
be
sure we'll
Figure
get that
something out.
we'll
world's
be
first
finalizing
again
details
for
soon.
the first time.
I just want
That's
you to
right.
know that I will be, for the first time, taking a Friday off.
Are you going to
Oh, nice.
be on PC though?
Oh.
I will, I will borrow somebody's account. I think. I mean,
This is why we
somebody
decide
out there-
these things not on the show. All right. Yeah.
I'll be there. Tufty, those are details.
Or
those are the
you
little
guys
details.
could join us on PlayStation and use my mom's account.
Nope.
She's gonna
Yay.
be grinded. She's gonna have more
Hard
weapons
pass.
than you, Tefty. She'll have more weapons.
She'll
She's gonna
have
be
30
grinding
frames. That's the only issue. Narrow field of view.
You got a regular raid team, Paul?
I don't. I'm not a huge raid person. I'll do it a couple times and then just not so much. I mostly play solo. I used to have some friends who played, but they've all kind of drifted away. I'm trying to lure them back for Forsaken, but I know I can just like hit up Twitter and get a group together with readers and stuff. But yeah,
What do
I don't have
you,
like a regular set group.
Do you play on a console or on a PC?
I'm main on PS4. I have PC, but I'm not fully caught up with PC. So I switched from Xbox and Destiny 1 to PS4 for Destiny 2. So that's my
That's
main
a
now.
similar situation that I think a lot of people find themselves in, right? It's like they had a group of friends that played Destiny 1. Maybe they fell off at some point, and they got back together for Destiny 2. Then they fell off again. Now a lot of people are kind of hoping with Forsaken, like we can get the old crew back together.
It's so hard to like convince people. Like I've literally just written articles with the express purpose of like, no, it's good now. Like please,
Please come back.
But,
Trust
and I
me.
look like a huge Bungie show when I do that.
Stop
but,
spending money on Fortnite skins. Come back. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just think, in one skin you could get the Forsaken DLC.
Overpriced.
Yeah, you
Or-
pretty much can.
DLC's
It's like
overpriced.
$36 for all the stuff in Fortnite, gliders and pickaxes. And
I mean, that's
silly.
that impacts gameplay. You intimidate
It
people
does.
with
It
that.
does. And you
Sure.
look good, play good.
That's what my
Feel
mom
good.
always told me.
Mama's like going out on the town. I look good. I'm gonna play good tonight, Tiff.
Mama Teft always had the wisdom, you know?
Oh man. So I feel like the content release, going back to the TWAB, the stuff that they're releasing, the Gambit
Love it.
release, the 24-hour, it's all to do what Paul's been trying so, valiantly.
Valiant.
I liked
To do-
violently. I thought that was more fun.
Violently.
Yeah.
Violently
I like to
on his
imagine-
own. He's
like
been
to
trying to
imagine that
get
wording
people
better.
to come back to Destiny. I feel like the way that they're releasing this content is to kind of build up that hype and momentum and get everybody back in. How successful do you guys think they've been so far?
I feel like there's a lot of interest. Like when I'm streaming, I see a lot of people come by and be like, I haven't played Destiny since, Curse of Osiris dropped. Is it a good time to get back in? How's Forsaken looking? People like there is definitely buzz. People are excited. And it's up to Bungie at this point to, release an awesome DLC and prove it.
It still comes down to the fact that the market doesn't really have a true competitor to Destiny yet. There's things that give you some of that action, but there's not a direct competitor of first-person shooter that gives you that loot fantasy that you share with your friends and do these crazy raids. So, of course, people want that experience still. Like, they played D1, and it was great. And they're like, I want more of that. Just, evolved. And if they're able to do that successfully, and this does, in fact, become one of the best years of the Destiny franchise, then it's just going to... It's going to further the need for more content like this, and it's also going to further the need for a true competitor in the space as well, because it will just make things better. If another company is doing stuff that is making the player experience exciting, then it just keeps pushing the ceiling to be fun. The fun ceiling. Keep pushing the fun ceiling.
Yep,
It's
I
way more
agree.
fun than the glass
There's
ceiling.
nothing that feels
Yeah.
like Destiny. Even just like the way it shoots, the way the guns feel, the way that you feel with your supers and all of that. It's just nothing scratches that itch like Destiny does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's stuff that has like similar mechanics. Like the Division is obviously the similar type of game, but the feel is totally different. And like, not that the Division's bad, but it's nothing like Destiny to play. And like it's like Destiny in the sense that you're doing similar activities, but it doesn't feel like it. And when Anthem comes, Anthem's not going to feel like it either.
Yep.
And the only thing I can really even think to compare it to would be maybe Borderlands, but who knows when that's even going to come out. And even that'll probably not even have as good of shooting as Destiny. So it does really kind of stand alone in that regard.
Yeah.
Rage 2 clarified that it's not going to be like a multiplayer game or really like a game as a service kind of thing. It's really just going to be a single player campaign.
Rage 2?
A lot of people were looking at Rage 2 like it might be a competitor.
Yeah.
That game does look awesome, but I never thought that would be a Destiny competitor.
Yeah, you're not going to go and find, random rolls of a shotgun or something in Rage, I don't think.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
for
well, people were kind of comparing it to Borderlands a little bit. And yeah, they clarified, like you get one shotgun and you might be able to upgrade your shotgun, but you get one shot.
Yeah.
So just to kind of go back to the TWAB, we read a little bit about the raid, and that was from the senior designer, Joe Blackburn, who is going to be on the podcast. So we have the Bungie raid design team coming on the podcast a couple weeks after, 3 weeks after the raid launches. So we'll have a chance to openly talk about the raid. Hopefully everybody who's wanted to have a chance to approach it has by that point, and we can get into the design and really go into what makes the raid. And then directly after that, the next week, we'll have Bifon to talk about all the lore and that comes out of the raid. So We've got a really great lineup for it. I was really interested in what the design lead, what Ham Slamrick, like
Ham
how many
Slamrick?
names? Ham Slamrick and
Joe Shamrock.
What he calls himself like 3 different Ham. I'm gonna be invading your Gambit, real games, real quick, Rick.
He's like flavor,
a
man.
WWE. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah. Little show.
He's trying to get something to stick, but don't you not call yourself your own nickname, right? You don't do that, right? You don't.
Well, you're not allowed to give yourself a nickname,
right? So
maybe he's so innovative that he's doing it and breaking all the walls because he can.
I mean, hasn't he given him? He's given us his own nickname. We've given him a nickname, right?
He's breaking through the nickname ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's somebody has to blaze the trail. Maybe he's the trailblazer,
right?
Yeah.
There's 2 kinds of people. There's leaders and there's followers.
Yeah. Joe Shamrock.
Joe Shamrock. And Joe Shamrock and the Swole Patrol. There you go.
Let's talk about the mods.
Yes.
And the mod squad.
All right. So we learned a little bit about mods last week. Was that last week or the week before, actually?
I don't know. It's all I don't know.
They did the combat stream. They showed some of the new mods. I could hear Watts rejoicing from Connecticut when they showed Icarus.
I was very happy.
But they got more to share. Like that. So they tell us that the mods are going to be intentionally rare. When you get a legendary weapon, it's going to have a chance to drop with a mod.
Yes.
And an exotic weapon, regardless of year, will have a slightly better chance to come with a mod.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
Right, it's not guaranteed. You're free to keep the weapon should that particular weapon and mod combo suit your needs, or you may choose to dismantle the weapon to break out the mod for use elsewhere. So if you break down a weapon that has a mod on it, you can reapply that mod to a different weapon. So if Icarus drops on your auto rifle, but you want to apply it to your Better Devils, break down the auto rifle, you'll keep the mod, and you can apply it to your Better Devils.
Yep.
I like the way that they're handling that, and that a commodity is going to be those mod parts, right? For crafting mod or buying a mod from the vendor, right? Well,
you're still going to be able to buy mods.
Right.
Yeah. You may pull mods out of gear for use in other gear by dismantling the original item they dropped in, and alternatively, should you want the item but not the mod, you can choose to slot in a new mod over the old one. So it's already got a mod into it. Doesn't matter. You can just pop a new one on top of it. It seems like that would destroy the mod that's already built in. They don't really say that.
Yeah, you have to dismantle the gun to get the mod back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weapons and armor purchased from vendors do not come with mods. So that'll be a big differentiator between vendor guns and weapons and stuff that you get out in the wild.
I really like that. I know that's a subtle point, Briar, but I like that. It adds some specialness, or you go out to those you find out in the wild have the potential for having greater value because they could potentially drop with mods, and you can't go in and apply RNG to buying a something out of the tower. If you want to, that's fine, but you got to apply a mod to it. It It differentiates the two and gives more value to the to finding something in the wild, and I appreciate that.
Well,
I feel
my
like
question-
it also extends the useful lifespan of vendor weapons because you get like day one when a new DLC came out in Destiny 1, you'd look at all the rolls on the vendor weapons.
That's right.
There'd be 3 good ones. You knew exactly which 3 those were. You bought them right away, or it took you 2 weeks to buy them right away, and then you never really interfaced with those again, right? But now, like they're all going to be there, and they're always going to stay the same, except that depending on what mods you have in your inventory, you can customize the vendor guns too. So you might find a submachine gun that all of a sudden like people are talking about because rangefinder with it really works well. You can mod it, you can buy it, and then mod it with rangefinder, and like there's kind of customize in that way, which I think is kind of cool.
Well, my question is does purchased mean turning in tokens also, or just flat out like buying them from the vendor?
Mod components, right?
It tells you what. Yeah, you mod components in Glimmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of the sentence is written in a way that you just.
So are you talking about
like
the weapons or the mods from Banshee?
Mods from Banshee.
Okay.
No, I mean like if like the weapons that don't come with them, like I get like Zavala has like 3 guns for sale. You can't buy those, and they're not gonna have a mod. But if you turn in strike tokens for engrams, can those engram weapons drop with mods? That's what I'm wondering about.
Random drops have the potential.
Because that's wild, technically.
Chance,
okay.
Yeah, it has a low chance of dropping with the legendary mod. And then you'd have the opportunity to either dismantle the gun, get the mod back, or keep that roll and put in a new mod in there. Which is interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They also specify non-raid year 2 legendary weapons and armor drops have a small chance to come up with a mod, which I mean, since they specify non-raid, like it seems like, well, maybe the raids are going to have, locked-in mods that are just for the raid weapons and armor.
I
bet there'd be raid mods, honestly, but
I would love there to be unique mods that are only from certain locations and things like a raid that could really customize a tailored, like this is my raid build that I want to put on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Those are the distinguishes, or those are the things that would distinguish year 1 from year 2, to where you can really build out something that's specific for your activities. Like I want Gambit type of stuff, I want a raid type of stuff, and PvP type of stuff. I don't know if they've done that because again, I haven't looked at any spoilers. I don't know if it's been data mined or been talked about from Bungie developers, but it'd be really cool if you could go down that path.
Yeah, making specific builds for specific stuff you want to do. It just deepens the gameplay, right? Gives you more to go for, makes things more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that tier 12 chase in D1.
Yeah.
Something to that nature with the mod chase for specific things would be really cool.
Yeah.
If you have the mod components and Glimmer necessary to feed your habit, you may choose to go straight to Banshee 44, who will have 2 mod packages available for purchase. Direct buy year 2 armor mod updated daily, and a direct year 2 weapon mod updated daily. So if you're looking for specific mods, they will be changing daily at Banshee 44, the gunsmith, and you definitely want to check that daily if you're looking for stuff.
I deleted all my mod components.
No, you did.
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
I'm so mad now that I heard this, especially. Yeah, because I was using a consumable and then it just jumped over.
Oh, I hate that.
And I thought it was a different item, and I tried to use it again, and it was like, I don't know, 50 something mod components or whatever, and just instantly gone.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
Masterwork cores, but still.
Yeah, when you use a consumable, it then jumps it to the beginning of the list, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. That's such a weird thing to do.
Why can you even dismantle those? Why would you want to dismantle mod components into nothing?
Right? There's so many things they won't let you dismantle.
Yeah, I know.
I did the same thing in D1 with my trowels tokens. I think I've deleted like 1,500 of them in total, and I was like, so I was constantly struggling to get the token to go back into trials. Oh my gosh!
But yet,
I did the same thing.
But yet, we'll be able to delete shaders 5 at a time.
About time.
Bulk shader deletion.
Oh, also, on the note of mod components and all that stuff, DMG on Twitter said that we are fine to start deleting our mods to get mod components. So you can start doing that now and get the components.
Oh yeah,
which actually makes it a little easier because you can make space in your mods, so they're not just going to the postmaster and getting deleted.
But Paul, let me be clear: you do not want to delete the mod component. Just the mod.
Yeah, no, the mod, not the component.
So I've heard. Yes,
yeah. That's one of the tips you should write up.
I need to be able to lock everything. I
Yeah.
delete everything by accident. It's really bad.
You may acquire mod components for trading with Banshee 44 by dismantling other loose mods. With armor, year 2 armor mods always drop 1 mod component when dismantled.
Yep.
Year 1 legendary mods always drop 1 mod component when dismantled.
Okay.
Year 1 rare armor mods have a small chance of dropping 1 component when dismantled. So it seems like you're going to want to, if you got like stacks of rare, upgrade them to legendary, then delete them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
absolutely.
basic thing with weapons, same basic system.
I'd like to make one more comment about the mods when we were referring to buying them from the gunsmith. I'm hoping that there's a different loot pool of mods than I hope that there's some that are exclusive from that Banshee like mod that you can
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Like how old fashioned
what
is
was
to
that
his loot pool? Or Monononon? You can only get it from Banshee right now?
Right, but that are kind of the opposite. Like,
That are
so you can
outside,
get
yeah.
some. There's like a core group of like maybe vanilla type mods that are standard for use, but then the specialty mods are location based drops.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if there's ones that are from
Yes.
raids, there's one that are from, like, say, Escalation Protocol and the Dreaming City. Like,
I don't want to get those from Banshee when I
exactly.
buy.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I'd even like to see them break it down. So, like, this strike has this mod available in the loot
That
pool.
would be awesome.
This
That would be
mission
really cool.
or this adventure.
Heroic public
has-
events might
remember
drop
that-
something like this.
That's a
Let's
good idea.
keep
yeah.
away from public events for a
No,
while.
man.
Huh?
I want to do 50 hours.
public events.
50 hours of heroic
How
public
about,
events.
how about like a year we just kind of like let public events sit?
Oh man, that's so
kind of
funny.
hang out with Trials over there in the corner. Think about what you did.
But don't worry, Briar. Lost sectors are a little harder now,
Yeah.
so you can just focus on those.
But again, Lost
Great.
Sectors are an example of, like, it would be really cool if there was a specific set of mods or a mod that could only drop from
Yeah.
heroic Lost Sectors. Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Adventures too, man. Adventures are some of the coolest content in the game, and they're so underutilized. Remember, there's that submachine gun
They
that
are
was
cool.
like the poor man's. What was it called?
Sondok?
Sondok C.
Yes.
Yeah, the Sondak.
Yep,
Yeah,
from Nessus.
And
I
you know,
know
it was
it
only
well.
available in this one adventure, so everybody was going to do it in that adventure, and it wasn't farmable because you got it the first time you went through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a slice
Like,
of
I'd
what
love
would have
to
been
see that
awesome
stuff.
for long tail type of horizontal progression, chasing things in the game.
Totally.
Yeah.
As for the launch of Forsaken on September 4th, Year 1 armor mods in your inventory will cease to work but can be dismantled or traded for materials, and Year 1 armor mods currently slotted into your Year 1 armor will cease to work but remain slotted in the armor set. Same goes with guns.
Yeah, it shows a picture of a mod that would be left in there, and it says this mod has been depreciated, dismantled to clear space, and reclaim useful components.
If you have a power level mod on a weapon, it'll just kind of erase that +5 as well.
Man, I'm gonna miss
Will
those
it be
plus
stuck
fives.
in there, or like can you
Yeah, it's there. You have to delete it.
replace
Yeah.
it? Okay. Yeah.
Aren't you guys gonna miss
You
those
want
plus
it-
fives?
No.
No, absolutely not. They don't do anything. They don't do anything fun.
But they give you a plus five.
Confusing when I'm using dim.
I don't care.
It's literally more than what you had.
We
It's
also got a sneak peek at patch notes for next week.
We got a little sneaky peeky.
Yeah.
We did.
Oh.
They
The
left some
first
key
thing
stuff
is very
out,
interesting.
but we'll
So
talk
they
about
went
that
through
later.
by classes at
Yeah.
first. Hunter.
Yeah, let's start with the best at the top, of course.
Of course.
Starting
of
with the
course,
hunter.
yeah.
The marksman dodge is now considered a reload. It can interact with kill clip, rat king, etc.
Cool.
Oh,
Should it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy about. I like every time I would dodge reload. I was always like, oh man,
you're like, damn it, I ruined my kill clip.
Yeah. Celestial Nighthawk is going to get more powerful. Will grant 33% of your super energy back if a target is killed by the golden gun shot.
You know,
I like
this is
that.
actually really good because you usually hold on to your golden gun shot so you get to like the big boss. But
Yeah.
then now you might actually be more inclined to take out like an orange health bar guy and just get rid of him, get some of your super back.
Yeah.
So I think it'll entice people to use their super more than just right at the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good change.
I like it.
Wormhusk Crown will no longer start regeneration of health and shields. Instead, it will grant a larger health and shield bump at the beginning of the dodge instead of at the end.
Immediate chunk of health.
Okay.
There's some Watts, explain this. How is it possibly a buff to this? And how is it what's your take on this?
So some people are saying that because they're getting a big chunk of health and shield at the beginning, that's going to keep them alive enough to be able to kill you anyway. I personally, the thing that I find super annoying about Wormhusk is that you get someone to a smidge of their health and then boom, they're full health. Not only can they dodge and survive a melee where you go to hit them and end them because they get the bump in health, but then they get all of their health back and then you have to basically kill them again. So I don't think it's a buff. I've heard a few people saying that they think that this is going to make it better, but they're not going to get all of their health back. So you don't have to kill them again.
As someone who's been crutching on the husk for a while.
Me too.
It's bad.
Disgusting.
I've found myself in a lot of situations where I dodge, reload, and I receive a little bit of damage right after because of, tick rate or whatever, and I don't get any health regen. This will be a guaranteed health regen immediately after I start dodging. So in a way, I could see it as in the middle of battle, an improvement. But it's not going to give you, if you're hiding behind the wall and then you hit the dodge to get your full health back, that goes away.
It's going to stop you doing the whole peeky meta thing where you're like, oh, made a bad decision. I'm in trouble. Let me go get my health back.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do that.
But I make a lot of bad decisions, Watts.
You got to make better ones, right? It's probably because you use the Wormhusk.
It's like
it makes you a bad player.
It's like a worse version of Devour. So instead of giving your entire life back right away upon that kill, you're getting a chunk of it right away, which could mean the difference between winning a 1v1. But the time to kill is going to get increased.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I like that they're bringing it more in line. More in line with the other class abilities. When you put your Titan shield down, your barrier. You don't get, if you're wearing an exotic Crest of Alpha Lupe, you get a chunk of your health back, right? You don't get the whole thing, and it doesn't keep regenerating. It seems you get a good chunk, and the people around you get your health. It's a static placement. The hunters are more mobile. They get theirs. They dodge out of the way.
Titans have other ways of getting their health back too, or an overshield.
They will have
but I'm just saying it's
even more so.
Right. So we're going to talk about that. But then I like that it's tied to an exotic, and then you get the and then the warlocks have their rift that they can put down and wear an
warlocks
exotic and
sneeze and they get their health back.
They do anything. They trip over their feet and they get their health back. So let's
trip over their dress.
I get that Hunter didn't have that many recovery options, but this had to happen. You can't just have a button that's just activate all health regen that's up every 6 seconds. It's just recovery is the most powerful kind of stat ability in the game.
It really is.
Because of the dodge cooldown, it's just kind of unsustainable. I love using it. It's probably why I started playing Hunter as much as I did the past couple months. But I understand why this kind of had to happen. And I do see how it could be better in instant 1v1 situations where it could save you from death instantly. But overall, I definitely think it's a nerf. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd say so.
See, I think it's well designed.
It is, yeah, because it doesn't kill it. Because that would be bad too. I know a lot of people absolutely hate it and want to see it burn in a dumpster. But if there shouldn't be exotics in the game that are just straight up garbage. We need lots of options for all classes, but mostly hunters because hunters are the best.
Moving on to warlocks. Warlocks, speaking of healing, increased healing rift effectiveness.
Makes sense because the time to kill is getting shorter, right?
Exactly.
So
Sure.
The empowering rift now increases precision damage. Previously, bonus damage was capped at the weapon's precision damage in PvP.
Interesting.
I didn't understand that, to be honest with
Will
you.
empowering rift now allow you to one-shot body with a sniper? Is it that much precision?
No.
No, because it only increases precision damage. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What will be interesting is can a 140 archetype then 2 to the head, 1 to the body with a hand cannon
Yeah.
in a rift, or a 150 archetype for that matter.
I think
It'll still be situational just because of the empowering rift is like a stationary thing.
Yeah, of course. And then you have to be a warlock.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always that reason.
Trade-offs. Yeah.
Exotic armor Skull of Dire Ahamkara. Increased super energy gain from Nova Bomb kills, and killing higher ranked enemies will grant more super energy. So they're continuing
higher ranks
to
like yellow bar or like armored.
I would
assuming?
assume,
or like higher power
I like
level.
this because in PvE you can pair this up with your tractor cannon and just
Yeah.
go to town with it.
yeah, you will be able to. What was that black helmet in Destiny 1?
Obsidian
that did
Mine.
this?
Obsidian.
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that it seems like a very strong PvE choice. If you want to use the Nova Bomb Tractor Canyon. Not like you need to put another exotic armor piece on to get your health back. You just eat your
that's
grenade.
true, right? That's built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You snack on a little nade and you're
In like
like
7 different ways.
toppity, you're like, let's go. And then you get a kill, you're like, oh, I'm full health.
Melee somebody, eat a grenade, shoot somebody in the head. It's all good. Yeah.
Transversive steps are getting enhanced mobility, and after you sprint for a short time, your currently equipped weapon will be automatically reloaded.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
That's
good.
cool.
I like
Was
transversive
it
steps
before
in
energy
PvP
weapon?
anyway.
Was it just that?
What was that, Paul?
What was transversive
What did you say?
before? Was it just your energy weapon that got reloaded or something? I can't remember what it was before.
Currently,
So it's
I
anything
don't know
you're
what it
using?
is now.
I think
I think it's energy weapon or something,
Hmm.
which is very specific.
That sounds
so.
familiar.
It was
Yeah.
very slow, wasn't it? It was also like a really slow reload. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
play
did take
enough
a while.
Warlock.
Like you kept checking back to it, and you're like, "This still isn't reloaded."
Yeah,
okay.
still yeah.
Yeah.
Titan Rally Barricade no longer requires players to take cover to reload. It now feeds ammo to your magazine over time.
That's pretty cool.
Hallelujah.
That's cool.
I
That
love
seems
it.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very good.
And if
Like,
you put the
way
crest
better
of
than the other
Akbalud on,
barricade now.
you
Yeah.
can give your health to yourself and your teammates around you. It's an area effect, so everybody gets the health boost,
Wow.
which is really nice,
And gets their ammo back.
and gets their ammo back. So
is it going to
Does
be
it work
as
like
effective?
Actium Rig? I'm guessing.
Yeah. Do you think it's going
What
to
do
be
you mean?
as effective as Lunafactions or like Actium Rig? Yeah. Because Lunafactions are pretty fast.
I think it'd be more Actium Rig than Luna.
Yeah. You think?
Luna's like instant. I don't think it'll be like that. That would be way too overpowered. I think it would be
Well-
like Actium Rig where it slowly feeds in.
Yeah,
I
I
can
would
see
say.
that.
let's just say that built into a class selection is the choice to get your health back with eating a grenade for warlocks, but built into a Titan is the ability to
Provide
you know,
DPS.
provide DPS, and like I feel like they are slowly tweaking the classes to be more job specific or teamwork oriented. I like the idea of having each one being able to do something powerful that doesn't require but urges players to be selective of who's on their team.
Boogeyman in chat brings up a good point. It better be as effective as crouching, otherwise it's literally a nerf.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't need to nerf it.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
It's a very good point.
Yep.
Yep. And I like this change. The next one really gets me excited.
Helmet Save 14 now grants allies an overshield for a short duration when they're passing through Ward of Dawn.
You're gonna
This is such a fantastic helmet. I love the way it looks. I mean, I just love
It's basically
wearing the
now the
helmet.
Destiny 1 Helmet Save 14, right?
Yeah.
Because it blinds
much,
In
and
blinds, it's back to
And it gives your buddies an
original
overshield.
power.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I will be so happy to see
What
a
I-
teammate. I'll be happy to see Pope walking through, popping a bubble, be like, "Whoa, bubble!" And I walk through, I'm like, "I've been blessed." Is that Saint 14?
Man,
Wow.
I haven't seen this in a while. This is nice. It's nice in here.
Is that the ambiance of Saint 14 in here? I'm gonna go kill
You
some
just
things
clean
now.
this?
Wow.
It smells good. It's got that new bubble smell.
So what I like about this is that, the Defender Titan really didn't feel like it was a support class like it could have been. The bubble just didn't feel like it had that. You can put on an exotic, go after it, and have it, be that thing
You could
for
build
your
towards it.
teammates. Yeah.
Cool.
And you're using your super, and if you choose to use your super stationary over a point and have everybody grab a buff off it, my question is, in previous versions, in the D1 version of the Blessing of Light, right? It you could dip in and dip out to reactivate the buff.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious if there's a cooldown effect from the dip in, dip out. I could see them doing something like that. One of the reasons why they took it away is because that movement in and out became,
I hope not. And here's the reason: you're literally using your super to put that thing down, and you're giving up an exotic slot for it. So it's got to be powerful.
True.
Yep.
It's true.
Mask of the Quiet One, increasing energy gain from incoming damage. While critically wounded, health will be granted from kills.
From kills. It doesn't say
kills.
melee kills. It doesn't say grenade
I
kills.
love it.
From kills.
That's really good. And I already love that
sounds
helmet. That's my favorite looking helmet in the game. So
It is pretty cool looking.
it's going to be.
I like that
That's-
I like that that desire to chain the kills in PvE just to keep going and rocking like as a Titan, just get in the mix of things. It really encourages that.
Now,
I
Really
love
aggressive
up.
play, like the forward line.
So, did it say any kills? Any kills, right?
It just says kills.
Just
while
says-
critically
So-
wounded.
Oh, while critically wounded. Okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
wondering how effective.
So it's that like last fighting chance when you're really low. You get a punch off, get your full health back, and then you can keep fighting.
Yeah, because I wonder in PvP, if you're rocking that, throwing hammers, you're like, almost getting gunned down, all of a sudden, boom, health's back because you chucked the hammer and got a kill.
If you're critically wounded,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it just says kills. Yep.
I just love the playstyle because there's so many. I could see myself using as a defender and running in, and you get the buff. When you punch, there's ways of setting up a defender build to just get in there and start effing shit up. Just punch and kill it, and it gets you in a position where a super hyper aggressive play is rewarded, and you keep that flow, that momentum of the game. It seems exciting to me.
What's the threshold
I like it a
for
lot.
critically wounded? Anybody know? I don't know these things off the top of my
When
head.
you're in the red?
Yeah.
When you
Just
go
when you're in
beep,
the
beep?
red?
Yeah, I was wondering if it's just if you're in the red, or do you have to be like low in the red?
Yeah, right?
I feel like it's probably pretty low. I don't think it's just red because that just means your shield's down.
Right.
But maybe. I
Well,
don't
it
know.
would be the same like when Arcstrider, the thing kicks in to get their cooldowns coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know when that.
I think it's when your health is in the red. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's really good.
That's good.
In
Yeah,
PvP,
that's
like,
really good.
It's
I
like a
feel like that's
permanent
going to be
crimson
really
on
good.
everything, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, you're running around with a shotgun. You're almost dead. You get the kill with the shotgun. You get some health back, and then you keep doing that over and over. And then you pop your hammers.
And you're getting increased energy gain from incoming damage the whole time. So you're
I wonder
Yeah.
what that number is going to be when it says health will be granted from kills. I think it's going to be
that's
dependent.
true.
How powerful it is going to be dependent on how much health.
How
we're
much
talking
health.
about here.
that's true.
That's true. They could balance it for PvP that way. Like if you don't get too much, then yeah, it's not going to be effective because people can melee it. But they could be really good in PvE.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be funny when you do the Titan super where you're flying like Superman and people are shooting you, you get low and you crash into them, get your health back.
Yeah, what if it does like a
That's
3-piece
gonna
and all of a
be
sudden full health?
hilarious.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that would be amazing.
God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
pretty
good.
nice.
It's cool. I like this. It's a cool
Yeah,
exotic.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Or if you take a bunch of damage and then knee somebody.
Oh,
She'll one-shot him now, yeah.
yeah. Huh.
For grenades, a bunch of changes coming to grenades. This has probably got a lot to do with the fact that all the weapons are going to kill faster, so they got to up the power of grenades. The
Yeah.
Axion Bolt is getting increased base damage, and they're increasing the amount of time it takes for tracking strengthen to lessen.
Okay.
Tracking strength
okay.
to lessen.
I was hoping one of you guys would
Right.
explain that
So-
to me. I was a little.
Well, remember in D1, you just straight up be running for a while because you're getting chased by an Axion?
Yeah, for like 10 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to strike somewhere in between what D1 was and what D2 launch has been for the tracking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right,
Is it-
Warlocks.
They track for long. Takes longer for the tracking to lose you. Okay, so they last longer and do more damage.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
The flashbang grenade, increased base damage, incendiary grenade, increased base damage. Oh, okay, that's 2 different grenades. It's just a little weird. Okay, so the flashbang gets increased base damage. The incendiary grenade gets increased base damage.
Okay.
The storm grenade gets increased base damage. The scatter grenade retuned range and fall off ranges for the detonations for more reliable damage.
Sounds like a buff.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a buff.
Magnetic fusion and flux grenades. Increased base damage. Damage is now the same whether a target has been stuck or simply walks over the grenade when it's detonating. The magnetic grenade now detonates a second time only if it's attached to a target.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah,
change.
this is really interesting.
The second detonation no longer only occurs on the grenade itself and will now be applied to each individual target hit by the initial detonation. So even if they spread out, they still get tagged by that second bump.
Really? Wow.
That sounds really fascinating for PvE.
Good.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I get that all this is for PvP, but this all sounds very good for PvE also because I think grenade. I mean, I just want grenade cooldowns to be lower is what I really want, but buffing the power is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really feeling a Sentinel Titan in the raid. Like, it's going to be nice to have a Sentinel Titan with a Ward of Dawn.
Oh, the thing that you can hold, right? The shield that you can hold and protect your teammates and they shoot through it.
oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, that's going to be very good.
Yeah.
I like that they changed the way that second detonation works.
It needed to
To
change.
be honest with you, I like that.
that's
That's a clean choice and something that I feel is going to make it interesting. You're going to have to choose. It makes it unique.
Yeah, it also makes it your reward for sticking somebody too.
Yep.
I feel like it's still, you guys understand. I mean a Titan, so I really believe that.
Whoa,
Like
you do?
it's too
News to me.
So my views are biased a little bit. The magnetic grenade feels like it tracks it too much. Like it's
Yeah,
too
well, it's
sticky.
called magnetic.
I know, but like
That's a good point.
it goes.
Yeah, it'll do a 90-degree turn.
Because it's a magnet and you have magnets in your body.
Yeah.
But like
We're
the
magnet
strength of the
guardians.
magnet is a little.
magnet.
Huh.
I don't know.
If it one hit kills,
I
it's
mean, I
going to
still
be a
prefer
problem.
the way they used to do it in Halo, where you basically, it was a skill shot to stick somebody.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like
you
that
celebrated
better.
sticks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like it's a little easy to get magnetic sticks.
Void Wall, increase the damage of initial Void Wall wave.
That's good.
Cool.
Because
You're
Void
gonna-
Wall
you-
does
did you
a
use
ton of
Tripmine?
damage, but they have to stand in it. So if you manage to actually hit them with the first wave, it doesn't actually do very much. So that's good.
Miscellaneous quality of life stuff. Swords will have the ability to accept shaders.
Thank God.
Right.
Uh-huh.
We
You want-
talked about it at
you
the
want a TO?
beginning. I want to talk about trip grenades or tripmine grenades.
They're not here.
They're not listed, and that's a problem to
And
me.
another problem
I-
is that Cayde used it. He literally stuck a trip mine in the video, got a sick
Right.
kill. That explosion looked amazing. I wish the actual trip mine explosions looked like that.
That's fake
agreed.
news right there.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been an easy buff to. I feel like the community. A lot of people have been asking for this. You should be able to stick somebody with it. You should be able to unicorn somebody with a trip mine grenade. It just
No tracking. Just
It has
straight
no
up.
tracking.
Yeah.
Just
You gotta
Skill shot,
tag
yeah.
them.
you tag them, you get
I
it.
agree.
You get. It's a powerful explosion. It just feels like that's. I don't
That
know.
feels
I don't even
rewarding.
need it to be a one-shot kill. Like, it could do the same damage as just walking by the grenade.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah.
Destiny 1, it was a
That's
one-shot kill. Destiny 2, the grenades aren't as powerful, and that's okay. But it was still fun
Maybe it'll be in the
to
other
watch
patch
a guy
notes,
with a
Pope.
unicorn stuck to his head, and
It's
the light
funny.
beam flashing, and the light beam goes off crazy when he starts turning around.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
That was pretty great.
Why you gotta hate on fun? That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Bungie hates fun.
Anti-fun Bungie. God.
Anti-fun.
Yeah, I want those to come back too. It was fun. Miss those days.
More quality of life stuff. Adding a timer to the status effect for healing Rift, empowering Rift, and Rally Barricade to communicate the time remaining before they expire.
That's real good.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's very
I like
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Wanted escapees from the Prison of Elders will roam the open world. They will not drop rewards until September 4th, though. So you'll be able
But
to
we're
go
gonna
see
see
them and
them
kill them.
around.
See him
Oh, you
in
can just kill
patrol.
them.
I'm excited.
They've
I'm
done
gonna
this
pick
before.
pictures.
Scorn, or are they
Yeah.
just random? Oh, so we're getting fight scorn then, all right?
I think
Now,
maybe.
how high level
Well,
do you
to be
think
fair,
these
there's a
guys
lot
are
of
going to be?
stuff.
I
Like,
want
are
them
we
to
gonna
be
wanna fight 'em?
I want 'em to
Skolas
be
running
400.
around.
Question marks.
Skolas with his scorch cannon. That's what I want. It's
I
not
want them
gonna
to be
happen.
like 500.
Unkillable?
500.
It's 500.
Yeah.
They got question
Absolutely.
We
marks.
can't get
Decimating.
loot from them,
Yeah,
so
you're right.
make them like
Yeah.
crazy high level just to look at and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, avoid that
Powerful
guy for the
dudes.
next week and a half. But we're coming back.
We know where you are.
Average farmer members. Increase the difficulty of lost sectors. As example, EDZ lost sectors will become 240 power.
Cool.
240.
What were they
kinda
before?
low.
220?
Well, that's just the EDZ. So that's the
They're
beginning.
like one,
That's the
yeah,
first
they're
area
like
you
one
do lost
something.
sectors.
base level.
When everyone's
Are
at
they-
400, like instantly, that's going to be still really easy. But okay,
Yeah, I feel like they've always needed this thing where, like, if you're in a high level instance, or they put you in instance in everybody's high level, I feel like those lost sectors should scale to, like, auto switch to heroic if you're high enough level. But that's a different design discussion.
Well, when you jump into those lost sectors, you get into your own bubble.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, they could just
Yeah, that's true.
put you into a higher level one
Yeah.
for better rewards. Like, if they had a thing whereas if you are not 400 light, or if you're under 400 light, it puts you into a certain class of it, so you only get a certain type of reward from it. But if you're above a certain amount of light, then they could put you into a heroic version with better rewards.
good idea.
Yeah, assuming there's rewards though. If there's no rewards associated with higher level stuff, then it's like adventures in D2 and vanilla. It's like, well, I'm already high enough level. I didn't really do them.
Yeah.
Zer's getting some changes. He will no longer display a vendor icon on destination maps. He'll no longer be tied to flashpoints. And the
Good.
Faded Engrams will grant only pre-Forsaken exotics.
Thank God. Because I did not want to be tempted by Zer's disgusting
I know those
engram.
engrams.
Ugh,
I will
yeah.
not be able to resist either.
Yeah.
I will buy it.
You got it. You might get the thing that everybody's chasing.
I know.
I'm searching for the tweet, but somebody from Bungie said that he'll still be on the map. I got the impression he'll still be on the map. You won't know which map, but you'll have to search the map hard to find him.
I think he
Oh,
means
okay.
in the playable space. Map is a
That's the impression I got,
Map is
but I
a-
can't find the tweet to quote it.
map's a lot easier to say than in the playable game space.
Were people that upset about like being able to see where Zur is? I feel like either way, that's not a huge deal because it'll be like instantly posted online where he is either way. But
It's a fair
all right.
point. Yep.
I just didn't realize that was like a
Yeah,
controversial topic.
It's definitely. I'm happy about the changes. I did get some messages when I posted stuff from last podcast when we talked about this issue. I did get some messages over the week that said that this for casual players, this Zur is a huge help to them.
And that's what Zur is designed
hope-
for.
yes.
It's an RNG band-aid.
So it's
But they got to change the exotic drop thing, and I think this is a good thing because like I've had every exotic besides like questline ones for months now, essentially, and that because that engram was just an auto get, and there weren't that many exotics added into the general pool, so you would just vacuum them up instantly. And like I haven't gotten a useful exotic in my last 50 exotic engrams, so I think it's a great idea that he's not giving away free Forsaken stuff. But
What did they say the exotics were going to decrypt into for mods? Wasn't there? Were exotics a guaranteed mod?
no, they had a high likelihood.
High likelihood.
High
That's
They,
right.
they increased likelihood. Yeah.
So what's interesting is exotic engrams now are going to become something of a potential mod chase.
That's true.
You're like, oh, I might get that
That's
mod
very
out
true.
of this
So
one.
even if you get something that you don't want because you have it already, you can be like, oh, I have that mod though.
It would be nice if
Yeah, you could
certain
dismantle
I don't
That's
even
it.
say high likelihood. They just say chance.
a chance.
Have a
Okay.
chance.
Okay.
I
I
have a
assume
tough time
it would be a higher
thinking,
chance,
yeah.
but I don't know.
I have a tough time thinking that mods are going to be like that crazy rare. Like now that you can dismantle something with a mod and keep the mod, like I get that they're making them a little more rare, but that alone, with all the loot that drops, even if they're only from wild engrams or whatever, I feel like you're going to have a good selection of mods pretty quickly. But I mean, I guess we'll see.
Joe Shamrock specifically stated that they were going to be rare.
All right.
Yeah.
It could be one of those things that, it feels rare at the beginning of a DLC, but by the end of it, you're like overstocked with it.
True.
Yeah, like legendary
Probably,
shards
yeah.
where you had like 100 and now I have like
Yeah.
5,800.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
I couldn't find the tweet I was looking at, but DMG said he's preparing for a few Fridays of why isn't Xur on my map. So that would indicate he's not going to be on the map.
Mhm.
Oh, well, now I can write where is Xur articles. So
There you go.
Yeah.
Free content.
Resurrection of the Xur articles.
Easy. Easy.
I'm gonna make a video every week, but I'm gonna always post his location from last week.
The too little too late video.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it was last week. Here's
But I
Xur,
think-
here's what he's got.
I think changing the faded engram to being, Forsaken Exotics is a good step in the right direction. It's not as far as I wanted it to go, but it's
I think it's
definitely good.
It is good.
I didn't even know Faded Engrams worked.
They do.
They
They
work.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Oh wait, Faded. No, I'm not thinking of Faded Engrams. I'm thinking of the what's the one that gives you an increased chance of getting a
Oh, three
3
coins.
points.
Which I'm
Three
using to
coins,
get catalysts, even though I have no actual proof that works. But it's like superstition at this point. I'm like, I don't know, just in case.
I'm down to my last catalyst. I'm only missing coil now.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
I just got coil.
Except for Mida and Vigilance, which I could care less about.
Ah, it doesn't-
I did not get Mida Catalyst
I got Vigilance.
through my comp run.
no.
Wow.
Interesting.
I got all three of my Crucible ones in one Legend rank up.
Let me ask you, Watts, what your Claymore run?
Yeah.
How long did that take you?
I started on Monday. I want to say, to be safe, I'd probably say about 20 hours of gameplay.
Nice.
That's really not bad.
Maybe a little bit less. No, I was started Monday at 125 points.
Did
What
you run
was your
solo, or
average
did you run as a
win
team?
ratio?
Yeah.
We lost 6 games through,
Total?
Yeah,
Total.
through the.
You were running
run.
a steam. You were running a stack team. You're
You
like,
have-
I'm not messing around.
For the first 1,200 points, it was me and one person who's definitely stacked, and 2 subs. I was just like, who wants to play? Let's go do that. And then after that, and it started getting more sweaty at like 1,200, 1,400, then we just picked up a group of solid players.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
was
Destiny will be going down multiple times before September 4th. On Tuesday, August 28th for update 2.0, it'll go down at 10 a.m. Pacific, but players will start seeing it go down at 9:45. I guess it'll go down at 9:45 and be down till 2 p.m. Pacific. And then it'll go down again on September 4th for the release. I think that one's a little shorter, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific.
I hope we get a chance to pre-download the stuff.
Yeah, me too. I hate not being able to do that.
I
I was
think-
late writing articles in like the late afternoon. I wish it was online like first thing and I could just no life it all day. But
It says here that the update will begin rolling out across all platforms at 10 a.m. and you'll be able to download it then. So you got 4 hours basically to download it.
okay.
That's true. So 2 p.m. is when we're going to be able to play.
Yeah,
much
but
later
it
than
sucks
normal.
if if you work till 5 and you got to come home and download it at 5, and then you're just sitting there watching that download bar, especially on PlayStation where it takes 7 hours
Yeah.
to download anything.
PSN servers are really bad about data downloads.
It's like AOL in the 90s
Yeah.
over there.
What I hate is that you can set your PlayStation to rest mode. It's supposed to download the updates automatically, but sometimes it just doesn't do it.
It like never does.
Sometimes
when I'm in rest mode,
yeah.
Like half.
I don't
it's
think
like
it
half
ever
the
does it
time.
for me.
It does
No.
it for me half the
I don't
time.
think it does it for me.
And then I get home and you're sitting there going, oh, don't worry, it hasn't downloaded. And then it shows the bar. And the worst part is as it's calculating, it gives you the first number that it's calculating as like 21 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like download will finish in 3 days.
Next
and you're
Tuesday.
Like, shit.
You may get to play before the raid. It is 10
Yes.
days away this time.
Meanwhile, Blizzard's pretty good. Gotta admit, Blizzard, it gets the data pretty fast. You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes very
Yeah.
fast.
For sure.
Yeah. I remember the PlayStation at one point were advertising a feature that you could, like using the phone app, you could set your PlayStation to download stuff. Does that work? I remember they were showing that off before they
thing?
released the PlayStation. But I don't know if they ever actually released that as a feature. A lot of stuff they showed off before they released the PlayStation never actually came into being.
All I know is they kept harping on their, like, you can start the game before it's done downloading thing. But, like, half the time that just meant you could, like, get to the menu screen. And then it's like, oh, just kidding. You have to wait 20 hours
no
to start.
textures.
Yeah. Like, get through the tutorial or something,
In some games, they you can prioritize, like in the Call of Duty games, you can prioritize, do I want to play zombies, or do I want it to start downloading the campaign, or do I want to start it downloading multiplayer? So you get a choice of which one you want it to download first. It will finish it quickly, and then you can play it while the rest of it is being downloaded in the background.
Yeah, I mean, Call of Duty almost had to do that because that was like 130 gigabyte download for
it was a big download.
Yeah. In Alien Isolation, I remember loading in on the Xbox and there was literally no geometry, so I was just walking around in like black space.
That's funny.
Working as intended.
So they also talk a little bit about weapon slots. I'm going to go through this one real fast because it's only really interesting to a few people, I feel like. The following year 1 power weapons will become kinetic weapons in year 2. Alone as a God, Malignant, the Frigid Jackal, Hawthorne's Field Forged Shotgun, Perfect Paradox, Shepherd's Watch, and Silicon Neuroma.
Very interesting.
Alone as a God is
the following
huge.
year 1. The following year 1 power weapons will have the elemental attribute changed in Lock to Solar for year 2. The Ikelos shotgun and the Ikelos sniper rifle. In the following year 1 exotic power weapons will remain in the power slot. Darcy, Legend of Acreus, Tractor Cannon, and Whisper of the Worm.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. They're still going to be powerful, but they're not like game-breakingly powerful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in here?
Let's see.
Nightfalls won't feature strike scoring. There's a bunch of kind of weird stuff that'll be like half working, it seems like in the...
It's going to be a weird week to play,
Yeah.
I feel.
It'll be a fun week.
New slots, yeah. But
It's going to be really fun. I'm so excited.
roaming
If you want to get the Lest He
enemies.
Be Judged trophy, then you got to get it now because it'll be gone.
For like a month, maybe longer.
No, they
Longer
said
than that.
all.
I mean,
I
Trials
don't
is
even know
going
what that
away.
trophy is.
Yeah, they said all
For a
of season
season,
4.
right?
Yeah. So at least 3 months.
Yeah.
At least 3
Sure.
months.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's some issues with the Solstice armor, Briar. Apparently, like people wanting to masterwork their Solstice armor, that Bungie had talked about being able to do that after.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen
Right.
after.
But they said that you could be able to you would be able to do it after the launch of Forsaken, but there were some challenges, unforeseen challenges in that, and that one of the aspects of it is a prestige nightfall objective will no longer be there. Right, the heroic strike playlist is being
That's
retired for a single adjustable strike hopper. So there's some issues with that they're going to have to resolve, but they're still working towards it, basically.
So get it done now if you can.
Yeah, it's probably better off getting it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good nice TWAB. They've been having some good ones. I don't often mention movie of the week, but there is a time lapse drawing of Cayde 6 that is by a friend of ours on the podcast. It's I always kill his last name, but Brian. Anyway, he's a phenomenal artist. He's I always love his work. Thank you. But it does a time lapse of him drawing this really phenomenal. He has a warlock. He drew a warlock that is to this day my cell phone wallpaper. Just phenomenal warlock.
This is like a superpower to me. This is like
being able to
you might
draw
as well
like
be able to
this.
fly to be able to draw like this.
He's amazing.
watching
He's
him.
like on another level. He's crazy.
I love watching his stuff. It has so much expression and so much. But anyway, if you're interested, he does a time lapse of him drawing Cayde, and it's just really cool.
It's beautiful.
I'd definitely check it out.
I didn't see it in the movie of the week, but I did see it on Twitter. There's somebody made an anime version of Shaq's training. I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter today.
No.
I'll have to find it. If I can find it, I'll let you guys know about it by the end of the show. If not, I'll post it. I'll retweet it on Twitter.
It's cool. So I heard there's some new computer parts coming out, Briar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little questionable though.
Are they?
Yeah, so Nvidia's got their new 2080 series or RTX 20 series,
Ray
right? They got the
tracing.
2080, the 2080 Ti. Yeah, they're going to include ray tracing technology, but we're not real sure how much more powerful. Like if you're not into ray tracing, which only a few
Right.
games are going to support right off the bat, not real sure what like the upgrade is going to be over like the current generation. So like if you have a current generation card, like what performance benefit you're going to get in games that don't support ray tracing, like Destiny. Like we're just not sure about what that performance benefit is going to be yet, especially if you have a high-end card like the 1080 Ti now. To get the 2080 Ti, it's like $1,200.
Yep.
So it's expensive.
For like a
That's
third-party overclocked edition, right? 1,200.
No, for Nvidia's card.
I thought it was the
So if you-
1,999.
They have a Founders Edition and a something else for all three cards. For the 1080 Ti or the 2080 Ti, the Founders Edition is $1,200, and the like Launch Edition or whatever they're calling it is $1,000. They don't actually have the regular edition up for pre-order, so you can't buy it anywhere. They only have the $1,200 edition up for
I
sale.
Got it.
And the only difference that they're listing is that it's overclocked.
Yeah. So it's an overclocked version. Yeah.
What I love is I can call you up, Briar, and I can go, hey, man, you know a ton about computers.
Right.
I am
And
like-
then I call On Air PC and say, Pope's got questions. Give him a call.
All right.
Nailed it, man.
Yeah.
So thank you to On Air PC for sponsoring our podcast. On Air PC is all about helping you get started in streaming, podcasting, or gaming. Let us help you build your dreams today. 330-850-1525. Hit him with that jingle, Tafty.
Do bow bow. Wait, wrong jingle.
Oh,
Whoa.
That was
great. That was good.
Wrong jingle.
What was that plagiarism
That's-
conversation we had earlier?
Jingoism. That is
it was good
jingoism.
because it was someone else's work.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh,
We're gonna get copyrighted strikes.
Yeah, you can't do that. Blatant jingoism.
Yeah, if you're looking to build a new PC, with these new graphics cards, or Intel's got new computers or new processors coming out this fall. The new Threadripper processors are I think they're out right now. So if you're looking to build like a really strong streaming PC, or if you're looking to game and stream on the same PC, On Air PC's got the know-how, they got the tools, they know what they're talking about, and they got a phone number, 330-850-1525. Thank you, On Air PC, for sponsoring our podcast. You guys want to do Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
The next 2 weeks are going to be so exciting. Oh my god.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's the lead up to some madness.
hype.
I'm so excited.
This is madness.
It's going to be hard to sleep, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
Anytime.
stay up and I
It is?
pre-write articles. I pre-write articles for like 3 days, and then I do nothing but play.
Yeah.
Oh,
for like
that's
those 3 days, and I'll have like 9 articles out. So
Nice.
that's
Oh,
great.
that's
it's
brilliant.
efficient.
including my 10
But
things you
before
wish
we
I
get
knew.
started on Twitter questions, Briar, I do want to talk about something that's going on right now with one of our members of our community. There's Keys. Hi, I'm Keys. We're helping him out with along with some really awesome Destiny community members have come together to support Keys. His daughter Clara is she's in the hospital, and she's he and his wife are focusing 100% on her. She's in intensive care, and I was reading his story, and I thought maybe as a community we could take one thing off his mind, and that could be his channel. So we'll be rating him tonight, but his channel's been taken over so he can focus on his family by great people like Miss Team KK, True Vanguard, EK. We've got Jay Sniperton, Lady Desiree, Fallout Plays. They've all stepped up and taken spots and have helped Keys keep his channel up and running. I'll be streaming after the podcast on it for a little bit, and then we'll do it again next week on Tuesday and Thursday. I just wanted to thank everybody who stepped in and stepped up and donated. We've raised some money so that his family can, just be a little secure when they're at a hospital and not at their jobs. So I just want to thank everybody in our community that's being taken part in that, and it means a lot to me.
You know, on a related
absolutely.
note, Planet Destiny is doing a similar thing for Grays81. A lot of people will know Grays81 from chat. He's also a streamer. His family's going through some rough times as well. Planet Destiny is actually doing a very similar thing for them.
That's awesome.
So you can follow Planet Destiny _news. I'm sorry, at Destiny News _net. You'd think I'd remember that. Or you can follow at Gray's Twitch, and the details will be there. And they could really use your help and support as well. Paul, there's a lot of questions for you, man.
Oh, really?
We're going to get into them.
Yeah, I saw
Nick-
some on Twitter, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't answer these on Twitter, so I just didn't do that. But
Yeah.
Nick Stinziani says, who would win a 1v1 versus Jason Schreier and Paul Tassi?
Oh.
Are we trying to start something here?
That's a good question.
Let's hear
Yeah,
what
definitely.
Who would win?
no, okay. Well, if we're talking about reporting,
No, we're
He
talking
definitely wins.
Destiny. 1v1 Destiny.
we're talking Destiny. I'm gonna say I would win, just because, like, I don't know. I've gotten like halfway decent at PvP in the past year, especially of Destiny 2. So like, I don't know how much PvP he plays. So I think if I had to 1v1 him, I could. I don't know. Maybe we'll have the chance someday, but I'm confident enough to say that.
Can somebody clip that and send that to Jason Schreier?
Yeah, let's get this started.
Let's set it
I
up.
swore I
Let's
heard
do the
Jason
1v1.
talking about using his Reddick's Claymore that
Yeah.
time.
Whoa.
One by that.
I misheard.
Jake Myler says, nice guest. I'd want to know from Paul if he ever meets people who didn't know gaming and he tells them he works for Forbes and they light up. Then he tells them he does a video game column and he watches the light fade from their eyes.
Yeah, my whole life is introducing myself and then watching the light just fade from their eyes. That's just
The disappointment you
day-to-day.
bring people, yes.
No, for real, I would say like most people are just like fascinated that it's like a real job you can have, like as I'm sure people say about streaming and YouTubing and stuff too. And then if it's someone older, then I immediately get questions about Fortnite in the past year, just automatically like, oh, my son's real big into this game. Have you heard of this like Fortnite? And I'm like,
Never heard of it. Fuck off.
No, just like, no idea. Crazy.
Dead game.
Yeah. But yeah, most people think it's pretty cool. They probably assume I'm broke, but besides that, it's a fun job to talk about, obviously, and people think it's neat. So not
You
too much
mentioned
light
me
fading
one
from us.
time in an article, like real quick, just a real quick mention. For the next month, I went around saying, "Hi, I'm Briar Rabbit," as seen in Forbes magazine.
I welcome you to it, but it was online only. I'll say that. But
Look, there's semantics.
Whoa. Sure. Don't try to diminish Briar's achievement here.
Bonobi219 said, "For good Sir Paul, what do you think the biggest casualty of the decline of print media is? In other words, what from print media are you going to miss the most?"
Oh, I see. Okay. See, yeah, everyone assumes I'm like super into print media because I write for Forbes, but like since all my work is almost online, is pretty much all online. Like I don't really feel that sting too badly. I mean, I will if the whole magazine shuts down, but I think if you can make the transition, it's a good thing. I think the biggest problem with transitioning out of print into all digital has been like ad revenue has just been totally decimated. Like the whole ecosystem that supported all these outlets is just getting trashed because it all funnels straight into like Google and Facebook, and it's a lot harder for other people to get a piece of the pie, which is why there's so many layoffs at like print only publications left and right, which is such a bummer. But that's unfortunately just going to keep happening unless you can adapt in a significant way, which I think Forbes has specifically. But it's a tough thing to do with every print outlet that's trying to make the transition over.
You know, just looking back at like my local paper, like the Connecticut paper, the Hartford Courant was kind of like the big paper. Like the amount of like articles about what was going on in government and what was going on in, just locally. There was a fat newspaper, and it's well worth picking up because you could not only find out what local politicians were up to, but you found out when they were doing wrong, and like it just feels like that's just gone now. Like there's just nobody out there. They don't have the level of access. They don't have the it's that reporting just feels like it's not getting done anymore. It's scary to me.
Yeah, people want to do it. They just don't have the funding for it anymore.
Right.
And
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a huge breakdown of what I feel like is a fundamental aspect of our democracy is an informed electorate. And if you have no journalism at the local level, it's very difficult to have that oversight because we're supposed to be the ones voting in or out people that are not, living up to their pledges to support us or to support our views. And so the newspapers in a lot of ways were the watchdogs for that because I don't have the time to go to every board meeting, every city council meeting,
right.
But newspapers,
Right.
That was their job. And without that, I feel like there's going to be a lot more rampant corruption than, I think sometimes people are in power aren't corrupt because out of fear of being caught, not from a moral
That's what keeps me from doing it.
I'm sure there's people that are morally on the high ground and even if they didn't get caught, they wouldn't do something wrong. But I don't feel
But those
like
people
in
don't
power,
go into politics.
No. And so without local print or local media, I feel like we're going to get a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Justice Beaver 23 says, we know the big things you guys are looking forward to in Forsaken. What are some of the small things you're looking forward to? For example, I get oddly hyped about a new title screen and theme song.
All the
some
new
of the little
music
things?
is exciting, right? But
Yeah.
that's not really a little thing. That's like a huge
It's a big part of it.
change.
I
The
feel
big
the
part
title
of it.
screen. I'm ready for a dark, quieter title screen than we have now.
Not super bright, very loud
Yeah.
title screen.
Yeah, are they actually going to go from switch back to like neutral gray type of thing, like they had in D1?
Let's hope so.
Find out.
I
soon.
would expect it to be purpley, like
Just going to be Cayde's like
Ooh.
battered face the whole
Oh,
every time.
busted-
you
Oh
log
my
in.
God.
Busted up
Just make me
Cayde.
sad.
Pool of exo blood around him.
Oh boy.
Flipped over ramen bowl.
There you go.
Doodles hanging out.
Ouch.
Oh no, this is depressing.
I don't know. Little things that I'm excited about. I feel like everything that I'm excited about is like a big part of the game because it's
Yeah.
a loot game, so I'm excited for like different parts of loot. I guess new shaders. I'm excited for new shaders. A whole new look for autumn.
I'm excited for a new shader system, which is
Right.
getting changed
Yeah.
to some degree. It's still not probably what it should be, but it'll be better.
That is probably it for me. Is the like quality of life stuff. I do look forward to being able to bulk delete shaders and have the collection system help ease some
Collections,
of the
yeah.
problems with the inventory. Hopefully that works out really well.
I don't know if this is necessarily like a small thing, but I'm looking forward to being excited about reset again. Like just, oh my god, reset's coming. What's gonna show up? What's gonna change in the game?
What am I gonna get?
What am I gonna get? I'm also conflicted about it at the same time too, because Destiny 2, like in November, I think, somewhere around November, switched their reset time from 1 a.m. My time to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
or 9 a.m., whichever it is, depending on daylight savings.
10, yeah.
And
Yep.
that's like the middle of the night for me, unfortunately. So I'm at a position now where I change my schedule around so I can participate in the brand new reset time, because it's always exciting.
That's a good question.
It's extremely exciting to get in there first when reset happens and see what's changed in the game.
It is, yeah.
It's not
I
as
think
much
it
fun
works
when
out for
chat's
your-
telling you either.
I think it works out for your stream though, because then people get to kind of see you do it. So people who go to work, for example, or school, they can't necessarily watch at reset, but they get to watch you, while they get some dinner or something, or on their way home, get to see you check
That's
out.
exactly
all
Yeah,
the
but
stuff.
there's a lot of people who are like, you're going to get this, and then you're going to do that, and then this is going to happen.
Oh, I know, and then you hate everything and you want to burn them.
that sucks.
And I'm like, I should just close the chat window.
That's a really good point.
My mods
actually.
ban everyone that does that. It's fine. Permanent ban forever. Stop it.
So what is this about the reset every 4 days?
No,
Some
it's
stuff
certain
resets,
things that can get
but not
reset on
everything.
a not weekly basis anymore. It's going to be afforded. So like flashpoints are getting changed, and then it's going to be on a different rotation. So that way there can be more things introduced for powerful engrams to help people,
Right.
instead of
Right.
feeling like you're relegated to a once a week RNG.
Okay. So not everything.
No, not everything. For the record, I'm not talking about not streaming at night anymore, because I've built my channel essentially with my time zone already. And like, I am naturally a night owl. I've been that way my whole life, long before I started streaming. So the idea of not wanting to miss out on weekly resets is the reason why I'm talking about this. Like, do I add like a once a week super early stream because I don't want to miss out on the excitement of that? I don't know. I'm currently trying to decide.
Backspacer44 says, will DCP be rocking Gambit together on September 1st? Seems like an awesome opportunity for a haphazard DCP bounty.
Haphazard.
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
Here's the reality. Nobody's going to beat us. Nobody. We're going to go in as a Gambit team.
World's first Gambit match completion?
Not with
We're
one
going to be
Claymore on your team.
undefeated
That's good.
forever. I mean, there'll be teams hunting for us for years.
The secret is they'll never find us because we're doing controls. Hashtag undefeated.
We'll win our first game, back out, and just be like,
Undefeated.
we're
Undefeated, man.
undefeated in Gambit.
Hawkeye says, what other game should Bungie model their character creator after? Besides beards, what new options would you like to see? Are you guys seen that Conan game?
Oh, the Dongus slider?
The Conan game?
The endowment?
Yeah.
Clearly that one, yes.
Yeah, we could use some more endowment in this game, honestly. Yep.
Yeah, for ladies
Also,
too.
boobs. Like, why is there no boobs in Destiny? Come on.
Yeah, I really want to change the boob size.
Yeah,
Especially on Titans. They need some more accentuated
some gusto. right?
features.
Gusto.
I mean, thicker thighs. I mean, there's just not enough.
If you're gonna be packing
All the way
bubbles,
around.
why? Let's.
I mean, if you're gonna, you're a Titan. You want to bulk up a little, right? You want to.
How can I trust your bubble if your boobies are not bubbly?
Yeah. What the hell? Space magic
I'm
just
so glad you said that, not me.
minimizes all chest sizes. Come on.
No. I mean, there's a whole lot of the character creation that I hope that they step up in
I was super disappointed to see Destiny 2 was basically the exact
It
same
did
character
nothing.
creator.
It changed
It was-
nothing.
It was
Nothing.
literally the
Yeah,
same.
literally nothing changed about
I
it.
just
That was
I mean,
shocking
not
to
even
me.
like the print options for the face. Give me like some Orakai, like I don't know.
You want to make money? Sell cosmetics for this stuff. Like, people would pay for that. And
Exactly.
not complain too much about it. Like, that's an avenue that's better than Eververse. I think that they could make at least some amount of money on. But
I like
I mean,
that.
if,
Absolutely.
if
That's a
Tess
good point.
sold a big $sign like print for my face, just like I'd just smash it right there.
Face
That'd be
implants.
perfect.
Calf implants.
For you skinny leg titans.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking at you, Tefty.
Hey, it's a pumpkin. It's not a titan. It's a pumpkin. Just happened to
You
fall into
straight up missed
it.
leg
Like
days.
somebody knocked it over and landed in a vat of space magic, and it was like, "What is this ability I have? I'm throwing hammers, but I'm a pumpkin."
I think more people would walk around in the tower if there was like a barber or a place that you could go and change your Titan or your hunter, your character's look. Maybe not like your facial features, but like the print on there or the haircut,
Yeah.
or beard. Your beard gets longer over
At least
time.
in Destiny 2, we knew that we were making a 3-year decision. In Destiny 1, like there was a lot of messed up looking Guardians walking around.
Right?
Yes, there
that's
was.
half the reason. I didn't remake 2 of my characters. So I'm just like, nope, hard pass. Everyone's an awoken female now. Like, that's the only good-looking creator. So, yeah.
Tyler Andrew Zelnis says, hey guys, love the podcast. I would love to hear your favorite moment in year 1 of Destiny 2. Mine's got to be the one and only clear of the Spire of Stars.
Whisper.
Destiny 2 favorite moments?
Whisper?
Whisper's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Whisper's
that's
good.
definitely it for me. Just the whole process of discovery and then actually beating it, and it was great. It was redemption for me failing to get the Black Spindle all those years ago.
Man, I'm trying to think of.
Spire was a good one because it took us so long to do it. It was the first time that
Took
we
us a
didn't
little while.
finish a raid like night of.
That's true.
And that was like a week-long epic.
Say the
I
question
wrote a
one
whole
more time,
article
just so I
about
have
this. I did
the
my
nuance.
5 favorite moments of the year. No, I wrote it already.
I would love to hear your favorite moments in year 1 of Destiny 2.
Okay, yeah. I feel like the mid game where things are still being discovered and it's exciting to see blues that like actually give you upgrades and stuff are always my favorite part in the beginning. Like I look back to that and I've got such warm, fuzzy feelings over logging in and just seeing gains and rewards happening and like, oh, I finally got the coil and like that time, that like slice of Destiny. I'm always the most fondest of that. Most fond.
Mine has got to be doing a 9-man escalation protocol. Like when
That was
it was
a lot of
still
fun.
really hard. It was super fun just getting 9 people together and like you got, it's like the chaos of getting a fire team together, but it's a 9-man fire team. And then you actually go in and it's still difficult. So you got a 9-person fire team just fighting to the death, communicating, trying to take down a boss. Like that was actually a real highlight for me. I really liked
That's true.
escalation protocol like that first week. I thought
it was really
cool.
good. Warmind in general was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rick Moranis says, for Paul, what are some narrative course corrections you think Destiny franchise needs overall, if any? And if the only available skin for the Solstice Legendary armor was gold plating, would you still have gone for it?
That's someone who knows me.
Daily double here.
Yeah, I hate gold-plated like specialty weapons or armor or special editions of anything in like any game, and that just so the answer is no. To the first part of that, wait, what was the first part again?
What are some narrative course corrections you think the Destiny franchise needs overall?
Oh, you got to let our Guardians talk. You're never really going to create as a compelling story as you can, a personal story, if you are forever just sitting in these cutscenes like nodding silently along with everything that's happening.
It makes you look goofy. It makes you look goofy in the cutscene. It really does.
There
Like
are some games where that
mm-hmm.
works, where it's like BioShock or something, and you don't talk, but you also never see yourself from the outside. So there's no cutscenes like that where you're just standing there like a mute idiot. And until they do that, I really think that they're going to have a troubled time telling a real story. And like even with, I think they're doing a great job with this like personal Cayde revenge storyline. I think that's a good start because one of the suggestions I would have made before this is that they never really tell personal stories. Like they kind of hint at it in lore and like there's maybe a mission or two, but they don't do real personal stories. And it's always some giant world-ending threat that you have to single-handedly beat, which is fine. But once you do like 6 of those in a row, it gets a little old. So I think getting personal storytelling is key, but you got to have your Guardian talk. Also, I would add to that, I really want to see more of all the characters in Destiny, like out in the world doing things and not just in cutscenes. Someday, this is really far flung and like not that crazy for other games, but it would be for Destiny. Like I want to run a mission with an NPC maybe and like have them help me and do things and talk to me. That's not just on the radio. But I don't know if the game is really designed for that, and NPCs really only seem to be able to stand in one spot in game, and that's it. So that's kind of a bummer, but maybe someday.
Remember when they were talking about Outposts for the first time before Destiny came out? Like, for some reason, I had it pictured as like, patrol zones would be bigger because I thought it'd be a sequel, and that the outposts they were talking about would be kind of like scattered outside of the patrol zone. I'd love to see something like that. And like actual stories.
And not just one
like
guy
NPCs,
standing in a spot. Yeah.
Yeah, NPCs out there that you could get quests from and, almost MMO-ish.
That'd have been
The
really
more
cool.
MMO and RPG they go, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Hogg says, for Paul, how do you decide what is and what isn't valid from leaks and such?
It depends. I kind of usually stay away from too many Destiny leaks. Like a while ago, I was getting burned by like, oh, here's this store listing of like the next plot of Forge of the Gods or whatever these made up things were.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy to invent those and just kind of edit those. Actual like super data mine stuff, like the stuff that's being passed around now, I've been avoiding because I guess it could have some reporting value, but it's not like reporting on like leaked Fortnite skins. It's like very, very secretive stuff that I don't want to know personally, and I don't really want to broadcast it. I just don't think it's worth it. So if it's like a rumor of something like small, that's one thing. But if it's like this laundry list of like, here's the ending of Forsaken, like I'm not gonna do that. So
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't want to know the story, right? Like, I don't want to go in and know exactly what's going to be happening, what the theme's going to be, the weapons that are going to be there. Destiny, it gets a lot of stuff ruined if you take away the mystery. The mystery, I feel, is such a big part of Destiny.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that away.
David Cotton says, what type of Destiny articles get the most views? Like info, mysteries, negative, speculation, etc.
My trademark 5 things, 10 things I wish I knew articles do pretty well because it's just kind of, I play a lot more than most people will up front. So I get through stuff really fast and then I can go back and be like, hey, I wish I didn't screw this thing up. Don't do this. So those get a lot of views. When I do my own rankings of like, here's the best exotics, here's the best legendaries, which always gets super outdated very fast. But those in the long term do a lot of traffic because people keep searching for those over time. I think that my best legendaries is like 600,000 views or something. Like over the last 6 months, it kind of builds. Straight just like news announcements or like trailers don't really do as well. It's kind of stuff that I spend a longer time on, and that's like my own view on whatever. So that's
what I like when you do too. It's like my favorite stuff to read when you do it.
Or when I'm really mad about something, those will do pretty well too. People like chiming in with critiques.
Sass says, what is the best thing about this week? Not like socially agreed upon the best or something you think others would agree is good necessarily, but the thing that made you the happiest. He says, no car talk, you know who you are. Is Tefty, you been doing a lot of car talk lately?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know what he's referring to here.
Yeah. Best
like
thing
anything
that's happened
or?
to me this week.
How's your week been, Pope? Breakdown of our weeks.
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of really cool stuff. My wife went to work. She's been taking care of the baby, and so she started a new job. It was her first teaching job. And to have her come home and be able to talk to me about her classroom and her experiences with her students is really interesting to me, and it's fun to be able to connect with her on a subject that we both are interested in.
That's cool.
I know
Awesome.
that's lame. I should have said exploding
That's
stuff,
not-
Things that explode.
Yeah, the trailer, Cayde trailer. Yeah, that was most exciting. Yeah.
Yesterday, I took.
Um,
No, go for it, Paul.
Oh no, I had a wife one too where I've been teaching my wife how to play Fortnite this week so she can talk about it with her pediatric patients because they come into the office and that's all they want to talk about. So I'm like actually teaching her the terminology and how to play and stuff so she can
That's cool.
be the cool doctor who plays Fortnite. So
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
she's gotten a couple kills, so I'm impressed.
Yesterday, I installed my own portable AC unit for my office because for the whole time, for the past like 6 months,
Ooh.
I've been cooling my upstairs. So I've been cooling about 1,000 square feet down to like 69 degrees every time I stream, which is not needed, and like a better solution existed. And we're renting this place, so I can't like install a mini split without essentially throwing away several $1,000s. So last night I took the time to actually retrofit my own duct system to put the unit into the closet and, to cut down the decibel noise and all that. So for me,
Yeah.
that is very exciting because now
That is very
I
exciting.
can close my door. I don't have to keep it open to have the air going in and out. And also, I don't have to cool down the upstairs to a chill. And I can have my own office in its own, like, you know, its own chilled feel. So I'm very, very happy about that. That was exciting for me. I want to get that done before Forsaken.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
For me, it's got to be getting the Claymore. It's honestly not something I was planning on getting at all. I was just kind of like, I saw the quest come out and I was like, I don't know if I want to be spending that much time in Forsaken getting a broadsword. So I was just talking about it in chat, and then the person that I was playing with, as Trix, he was like, let's just try and do it. I was like, okay. So then we just tried it, and then we ended up getting it. So I wasn't expecting to even try and get it, but it went so smoothly and so well. And just to have that over with now and know that I can dump my 1,200 Crucible tokens and get a randomly rolled broadsword is nice. It's nice to know that.
Nice.
I got a new car.
Ha!
Is it the Lambo?
What'd you get?
The
A Lambo?
Porsche.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a Lambo. I got a Honda Accord.
Close.
Close your eyes.
Just
Very
as close.
Might feel like a
Super
Lambo.
close.
Well, it's a stick shift.
You can go fast.
Do you make like Lambo
Speed.
noises when you drive it?
I do. I was doing that in the last car too, though. I just play I'm Your Testarossa on repeat all the time.
Yes.
I know we were talking about the best things that happened to us this week or what made us happy. I kind of want to hear a Briar rant because there was a little bit of a rant on Twitter. We don't get many
Dealing with
rants these days.
ineptitude for like 3 weeks. I told you I just bought a car. Like I was shocked by the ineptitude showed by car salesmen in general. Like they don't know anything about the cars that they sell. There's like literally 5 models that Honda sells. So it's like how hard it is to keep track of this shit. And then I got glasses today, and I got progressive lenses. I don't know if anybody knows what progressive lenses are. They're basically, close up at the bottom and far away at the top. And I come home and I'm like, I have to move my head to read text on a computer monitor. This is not going to work. So I bring him back. He's like, oh, yeah, these aren't good for people who use a computer every day. I'm like, dude, we literally had a 45-minute conversation about what I did for a living when I was here. Like, how can you say? So, yeah, I've been dealing with stuff like that.
Maybe he had Fortnite on
I
the
got
brain.
a little mad, and I took it out on Twitter.
That's too bad. Maybe he was just
Twitter's
focused
for.
on Fortnite, man.
Yeah,
He couldn't
could be.
keep track of the conversation with you because he was thinking about the skins that he had to buy.
Could be.
That could be it.
Mhm.
Anton says, what happened to the DCP side quest podcast and Let's Plays? Are those just seasonal shows for when there's no Destiny content? Will they return once you have played through Forsaken and have a chance to play other games?
Yes. Let's just go with that.
So it's
We should
difficult.
explain a little bit.
Yeah, it's difficult to manage multi-topics like that, especially when there's new content that comes out for Destiny, because there's essentially like an unspoken race or sprint to want to get the stuff because it's exciting on a personal level, but also because you want to talk about it and all that. In my personal experience, like September is going to be all Destiny. I plan on playing Forsaken, and then October there's going to be some amazing freaking games coming, specifically Red Dead.
Yeah.
That is just going to be incredibly exciting to play. So the juggle between handling new content with Destiny, because it does take time, and we want it to take time to be able to acquire the stuff because that's when Destiny's exciting. Juggling that with new games like Spider-Man's going to come out. I'm going to have to like postpone Spider-Man playthrough until October and November. So it becomes a balancing act of finding out when you can play the other games, but then also a balancing act of finding out when you can make content about those other games as well, like the side quest. And we don't want to do a side quest where we're just like,
Where we're like, so what did you play?
yeah, let's try not to talk about Destiny right now because that's literally all we're
But we're
playing.
so excited, and it's not going to be a good show if we're all sitting there like, I really wish I could be playing or talking about Destiny right now, and we're trying to find something that we can talk about that's not Destiny.
Exactly.
I think it's important for us to say that we were initially planning on stuff being a weekly show, but I think that question really kind of hit home to it. When it feels right for us to talk about we'll know. The four of us will look at each other and go, yeah, let's do a side quest.
We never want it to feel forced, because forced content feels forced and it turns people away. Just straight up.
It's lame.
It's like, well, you know,
This feels like forced content.
yeah, because if we're only playing Forsaken and then like, hey, anybody play Spider-Man? No. I bet it's good.
Nope, absolutely not.
I
wanna-
turned
wanna
down
have
a
a
review
coffee.
copy of Spider-Man to play Forsaken.
Because
Like,
you
no,
knew.
I'm
Oh,
not gonna-
wow.
You knew,
You're
right?
like, yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah, I passed it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with a side quest, like we'd love to do that consistently on a regular basis, but our capacity as a team to do it on a weekly basis doesn't exist right now because of the ups and downs of Destiny. And that's just
It's more than just getting together too for like an hour or 2 hours to actually record. There's a lot more that goes into it.
yeah.
Kind of behind the scenes, as well as like, having something to talk about.
Playing those other games.
And ultimately, what's so important to me is that the four of us get together and have fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And we
Right.
were, it's got to be fun, and it's got to be just something that we enjoy, because 90% of what this is for us is friends getting together every week to talk about video games. And if it's not that, people are going to see that they're going to see through that. And I think that's a core element of this. I'm genuinely excited to see you guys every week and talk about Destiny. And
Yep, same.
when it stops being like that, I will stop being on the podcast. It's just the concept of it for me is the excitement. I get excited every Thursday. I'm like, cool, it's podcast day.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that way with SideQuest because we were just playing Destiny. So
Well, also
that's a good question, and that's where we're going with it.
also is tough to again, the scheduling is very difficult in that stuff. We've worked
true.
our lives around a schedule for this podcast to be able to do it at this time to be consistent, because again, consistency is one of the most important aspects of doing content creation. And SideQuest, unfortunately, we kept trying all these different time slots, and we realized that something always came up with someone, and
Yeah.
that's tough to do on a consistent basis. And then even more so when you're basically just playing Forsaken for at least a month. So
That's right. All right, good question.
Good question, yeah.
Nathan Ake says, if you didn't do what you do, meaning like streamer, YouTuber, writer, what would you do?
I would be a cat lady that stays at home with cats.
You get paid for
That's
that?
ambitious.
professional cat lady.
Yeah, I don't see how I could do anything else.
I don't see how you can do it either, to be honest with you. That damn cat of yours gets into a lot of trouble.
Wow. I would love to work in something to do with like space exploration. I think it would. I've always
You want to be a rocket
always
scientist?
No, like
Rocket band, rocket band.
I want to be like the head of Space Force. No, I'm just.
You know,
I'm just kidding.
I want to be
That'd
the
be
head of
nice.
space.
Like, I just maybe invent time travel. That'd be pretty cool, right? I think I'd probably do that.
All right.
Have you seen Back to the Future?
I want to be that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to do something. I'd love to do something with a. I feel like I've always wanted to go into space. I feel like that would be something that would be fun to do on a trip to Mars or something.
He just wants to be head of space.
Head of space.
I want to be
Head of
space.
Emperor.
Emperor
Emperor
space.
of space.
Space bear.
Just a small
Space bear.
My new name, Space Bear.
What about you, Paul? What would you do if you weren't
Oh man, it's hard to just consider not writing anymore because I do so much of it. I'd say something in like movie or TV production, just because I love just fiction and movies and television. So I'd love to work in that in some capacity, even though I have no idea how. But I guess that technically still be writing there. But
If Pope can be a space bear, I'm sure you can be in movies.
Space Force Commander, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there's no
You can
limits.
play
Here.
Pope on TV.
You can do whatever you want. You could play Pope as a space bear,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is a weird question for me because I'm currently doing most of the jobs that I've kind of like pursued. Like I do photography, I do YouTube, I do Twitch streaming, we do the podcast. Like, these are the kind of things that I like to do. And like, I've gotten to the point, I haven't actually been jealous of anybody's job that I've seen actually until very recently when I saw Doug DeMuro's YouTube channel. This guy reviews exotic cars like Lamborghinis and, like just like a Countach from 1990 and, a brand new, like I can't, he just did a video today. It spends like 30 minutes like inside and outside the car and drives it around and he gets like 6 million views per video.
Damn.
That's pretty sweet.
That's a pretty sweet gig, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's awesome. For me, I would probably go back to music production. That's what I did. I did a lot of music production, and I'd go back to that, doing like licensing, cues, and song production.
Making jingles?
Possibly, if there was something that came up for something like that. But I did it.
Yeah,
I've heard your jingle work lately.
Maybe like a podcast or something.
Whoa, not representative of my whole body of work. Okay, jeez.
All right.
Yikes, man.
I'm glad I have the most ambitious of our dreams.
Andy Martinez says, if you were sent back 100 years into the past to live out the rest of your life, what modern luxury would you take back with you? I need toilet paper, to be honest.
The internet.
Was that not invented 100 years ago?
The internet's free.
I'm not willing to risk it, Paul.
Definitely the internet, 100%. I'm assuming I
100
can
years ago?
It's a good one.
directly connect.
Would anyone else be on the internet though? Like, would you?
No,
be
here's the thing.
communicating-
Here's the thing. Since it's part
you
of
keep
since it's
it
part of my
pure.
fantasy, it would be that I get to connect to the internet of whatever the current time is, even though I get put back 100 years. So I could then probably make a ridiculous amount of money off of predicting things that happen in the future, like Biff.
How about
like Biff
antibiotics?
That'd be good too.
Very sensible. Yes.
You could pull that info from the net, and then share that information
And
with some
make
smart
your own?
people.
With some smart.
I'd bring my Space Force with me.
That'll come
whole
in
Space
handy.
Bear, circa 1900s.
1900s, launching up into space, blowing people's minds.
Uh,
I don't know. Silly question. I love it.
Most interesting Korean says, how many times can you wear jeans before they go to the hamper to be washed?
Depends where I'm wearing those jeans too. If I'm
And
going
for how
mud
long?
wrestling, maybe just a day. If I'm going to a movie, that's like just 2 hours. You know, that's fine.
I'll say
Wait.
3.
3 days? Three
days.
three wearings?
3 wearings.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm about there. But although sometimes jeans feel more comfortable the more you wear them,
yeah.
Yeah, up to a point.
and then they start getting gross,
depend-
right?
are-
You
yeah.
get that like.
Are
oh,
you
yeah.
sweating in these things? You know, like, are you going for an
Yeah.
impromptu jog? Then you're gonna have to up.
I think we need
you
some
have to up the
follow up.
rate.
Like,
Yeah.
what season is this? Is it summer or is it winter? Because that really
Most
makes a
interesting
difference.
Korea. He really doesn't flesh out his Twitter
Right?
questions like
We're gonna
we-
need a little follow up. Most interesting Korean, get back to us next week with a little bit of some details here.
more depth. What activities are we going to be doing with this
Right?
said
Yes.
pair of jeans?
Are we going for a hike? Are we just sitting around?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are we doing here?
I mean, jeans aren't lounging pants, right? They're
Am I
you're not
going
like
to the
sitting around
grocery
the
They
house.
can
store
be.
and
Jeans,
then
you
just
go
coming
do
home
things
and
in
taking them
jeans,
off?
Some jeans can be
Right.
comfortable. Got to find the right pair.
right? Okay,
Never.
okay. Well, we need more clarification.
Yeah. Also, what brand of jeans?
What cut?
What's the
Loose
stretch
cut, skinny,
like?
you know, what's it gonna
the
be?
fit?
Right?
Right? Are these 501 classics? Are we talking like American
You have to
Eagle?
wash tight fitting jeans more than loose fitting jeans, probably.
Yeah,
Right?
I most
To
likely.
keep them tight.
I think
Yeah.
we're giving Paul some ideas. The 5 things I wish I would have known before I bought my favorite pair of jeans.
While
about the
wearing them
clicks,
as I
though.
play
30
Destiny
things
2.
already, so it's hard to choose from.
I mean, you're welcome to use any of this, and you don't have to cite us. I mean, this is just.
Okay.
Well,
No,
yes,
no,
you have to
I gotta
cite
cite
Briar.
you. I don't
Yeah,
want to
Briar needs it. He needs to be able to name drop.
Gene's
All right?
idea plagiarism.
Yeah, that's true.
Fenrir526 says, would you rather be able to talk to any animal or be fluent in any language?
Ooh, Fluent in any language.
Any language. What do the animals say? They can't say that many interesting things.
They know
They're
all
like,
your dirtiest, darkest, man.
Oh, that's
What is your cat
that's
seen,
assuming.
Paul? What has he seen?
Nah. Aren't dolphins like really smart? You could talk to the whales.
Oh.
You could get some
I have a
crazy
great
whale
answer.
stories.
It's gonna destroy Pope's answer.
You need to tell your cat to stop eating string.
Seriously, like walk up to your cat and go, look, string's bad, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
could-
pick animals. I'm picking
Yeah, you
animals,
coulda-
100%. You know why? You can learn to speak a different language.
I was gonna say that
If you
too.
wanted
Every
to learn every
language.
single language, you
Every
could do
language.
it. You can't learn to speak to animals. And then I could
somebody
just say
said I
to
could
Tobias,
if you
listen,
could speak any language, you could get like some primo jobs with that skill.
Think
That's
about
Think
it.
about it like
I
this.
could be the best vet in the world.
You're on a
I
hike.
could just be like, hey, are you actually sick?
Hey, what's wrong?
No?
You could be
Okay,
head of
go
the
home.
Space Force.
Because they're bringing animals in space, man.
Right? You
You
talk
could-
alien languages.
You could be on a hike and you're about to get mauled, and you're like, "Whoa, what's up with the mauling, dude?" And he's like, "I'm hungry."
yeah, right?
Be like, "Let me bust
Hey,
out."
Mr. Cougar, let's calm it down.
Like,
Let,
I-
let me,
I got
let's
some
go to the
snacks.
store. I'll buy you a whole bunch of stuff. You know, then he could like the mountain lion could tell me about the life of being a mountain lion, and you could
Yeah.
document some information, have some breakthroughs on
You want
Think
animals.
of the
fillet or you want the New
documentaries you
York
could
strip?
make.
Yeah, this is definitely the choice.
Hey, honeybees, where are you guys going, man? This is really concerning
Yeah.
to us. We
Google-
need to
Yeah,
know.
why are you
Google, you can
struggling?
Other
translate.
people can't hear them.
Google-
Other people can't hear them, so they would just think you're insane. Be like, "Oh, this is what this bear said. Believe me."
But
Like,
then you could do it like a
A standard operating procedure over here.
you could do an actual test though. You could be like, Bear, you need to do this and then that. They'd be like, whoa, they are understanding crazy. See, with Google, you
What
can
if the bear's
translate
like,
any language.
if you could
Screw
like
you,
command
dude.
them to
I'm
do
not gonna do
things,
it.
then
Oh,
that
asshole
might be
bear.
good, Yeah.
Yeah, asshole bear's just like,
I mean, there's probably an asshole bear.
yeah. I mean, think about it.
That's just
Polar
that's,
bears.
That's a that's cost.
Polar bears
that's
are the
cost.
most racist animals.
That's cost of doing business.
The cost of doing business.
I'm still going. I'm
Says,
still going with speaking with anybody because that's
It would just make my life much easier if I could just literally say, "Are you sick? No? Okay. Let's
Look,
move on."
let's just
I'd
be
save
honest.
so much
Even if you
money.
could talk to your cat, they wouldn't give a crap what you said.
Yeah,
They would be like,
You haven't-
you would say
Yeah,
like,
Pope's
please
right.
get off the
Pope's
couch,
got
and
ya.
they would look at you like this. They'd go, and give you the same damn
That's
look if
not
they
how my
understood your
cats are.
language.
Yeah.
Okay.
Merlin wasn't that way. I had a connection with Merlin that went a lot deeper
yeah.
than just I'm a cat. You know, it
You
was
mean
a
you
person.
fed her?
I'm a kitty cat.
No, Merlin was a
Meow,
person.
meow, meow,
They had,
meow,
like-
meow, meow.
We had a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The Mohegan 9 said, "Is mother trucker a good replacement swear word? And what is your favorite replacement swear word?"
They're trucker.
I say fudge a lot. It just happens. I don't even
Yeah.
necessarily like it. It just happens.
I say Jiminy Christmas on a cracker. Jiminy.
Bumblefuck, I use a lot.
Well, it still has that.
Is
Still
that a
cuss word.
replacement swear word?
What's it
Prior?
replacing?
I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
replacing something.
You're just adding bumble to the.
Cheese and rice. I record. I
Oh my
when kids
gosh.
say that at school, I go cheese and rice.
Dreadnought says, question for the gentleman. So this one isn't for you, Watts. This is just for the gentleman.
Oh.
So you're going home from a leg day workout. Your legs are sore and cramping. You take a packed subway home, and then a woman comes in. She has to stand because there are no seats left. Would you offer her your seat even if your legs are killing you?
No.
Okay.
Very, very specific. Okay.
Equal opportunity.
Is she
You got on that seat first.
is she a grandma?
Mm.
Is she
We need more
disabled?
Is she
clarification
pregnant?
Here.
Is she pregnant?
Any questions?
Is she on oxygen? If any of those, then yes. Not those? Hell no. I'm keeping that seat for myself.
Mhm. Am I single? And is she beautiful?
Key questions.
We're gonna need some
I
follow
don't know.
up here.
Are you gonna? Yeah, but hold up.
I get up every time.
Every single time.
Because you're a gentleman. I'm not.
It's just the way I roll.
What if you are exhausted, Pope, and you get on and you need a seat?
Leg day. You are
and
temporarily disabled due to leg day.
Nobody's willing to get up.
What if you fall over onto the lady?
Force needs a
Space
seat,
Force,
goddammit.
I can still feel the pain that my father gave me as he slapped the backside of my head when I didn't get up. It's just, I don't know. It's the way I was raised, and I don't.
You might fall on the lady though, or murder her due to your squiggly spaghetti legs.
Mm-hmm. Then who wins? Who wins then?
How'd she
the
die?
The whole universe
Man
loses.
fell on her from squiggly spaghetti legs.
I know.
Also, he was part of the Space Force.
I know women are equal to men and all that stuff.
Space Force spaghetti legs.
I still think that there is some
Took woman out
value
local subway.
in chivalry. So anyway,
Max Dwayne Peterson says, do you keep right except to pass, or do you hang out in the left lane like a heathen?
I go very fast in the left lane.
Yeah, you just go fast
Yeah?
in the left lane and pass everybody forever. So
There you go.
Depends in the mood.
Hey,
Run into the guys
Spirit of the
hanging out
lane.
there.
Yeah, if I'm in a chill day, I'm gonna keep to the right. Wait, are you the asshole who stays in the left hand, slowing everybody down?
Yeah, are you the slow guy in the left hand? I think is the
No.
No,
not if you're
definitely
slow.
not.
No, it's not me.
I would feel bad about that.
so it depends on how the person coming up on me is behaving.
You're gonna read them.
Well, you get the
Space
person
Force
driving
wants
up
me shit from
and they
nobody.
do
Space
the
Force
lights, they
reads
do
these
the
fools.
flashing lights, or the honk up. I could see somebody coming up behind, they're coming up fast on you, you have a moment where you see them, they give you a little puff up and
Yeah.
hey, I move over. That's polite, right? But those assholes that just like, they just come up on your you know what I do? I take my foot off the pedal and I just go
You take the passive aggressive route.
hell yeah. I don't get out of that lane until they move around me, and that's just the way I roll.
Ringo the Dingo says, you're on a date in a pub and you're rapidly transforming into Pirate Briar. I assume he just means you're getting drunk here.
Yes.
Also,
No,
your
it's her
counterpart,
pirate.
Briar is specific.
also, your counterpart is looking less and less attractive as the night goes on. What's the best phrase and flimsy excuse to get out of there? How do you extract yourself?
So you're getting drunk, you're becoming Pirate Briar, and you have to get out of a place. What phrase do you use?
Yeah. You're on a blind date, right? And it's not going well.
I have a problem with this because if I'm Pirate Briar and I'm getting drunk,
Yeah.
I am merely entering into my element.
Right? We're not leaving.
We're not leaving. Good date, bad date, doesn't matter. I mean, you're there. That seat is yours.
So, assuming you do have to go, I think it'd be something piratey. Be like, I bid you adieu, my lady.
the whole
Something like
question's
that.
bullshit. You can't. You're not leaving. Briar's not leaving.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Yeah, it's a loaded question, man.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a false question. It's like you can't do
invalid
that.
question.
Yeah, you should strike that one
something
just
like-
from the list.
Yar gotta go in the brig.
Yeah.
Yar,
I
you might be
need to
puking
locked
my
in the
guts
brig.
out now.
Yar, can you lock me in your brig, milady?
Yar, you'd be making me
I
sick.
gotta go.
I'll be leaving now.
The one I heard that I loved, I think I heard this. I think this was like rotating around in the Destiny community, or maybe it was on like the Destiny Reddit for a while. I gotta go. A meteor hit my pool. I thought that was hilarious.
Pretty good. Huh.
Right around
Sass
that.
says, last week you all ate Smurfs like it was going out of style.
Easy.
You animals.
They're tasty.
It's very
Gargamel
disturbing.
is now inviting you to his house for a barbecue to celebrate your appetite for the blue belly fill. What do you bring to the barbecue? So you're going to a Smurf barbecue. You're going to get down with Gargamel, have some Smurfs for a little barbecue action. What do you bring for sides?
I think you bring dipping sauce, like to make the Smurfs even better, like some Smurf dipping sauce.
Ranch,
Like,
barbecue
what is that?
sauce.
Is that like ranch?
I
Is
feel
that
really bad
queso?
for Paul
Blue
right now in
cheese?
this
Yeah,
conversation.
I feel like I've missed something here.
Yes. So, Paul, like these Twitter questions tend to get a little silly. All right.
No, they don't.
Progressively more.
We're a little punch drunk at this point in the podcast. It's entertainment value for our last week we
Snort
had
salad.
Last week we had a question about Smurfs and eating Smurfs. I can't explain how it came up.
It's the question, would
This
you
is
eat
a follow-up.
Smurfs? Just
Yes. Something like
Probably.
that.
It was
Smurfs
something
or
like,
like something else.
If you had to choose between one and another, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like give
I
up
don't
something
remember
or
what the
eat,
other
eat a
option was.
Smurf, and I was like,
It wasn't as good as Smurfs, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I'm a big dipping person, so
sauces.
some quality sauces. Yeah.
Yeah.
That or you just bring some beer, some drink.
Yeah.
What if you bring some beer? You could beer batter the Smurfs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think Gargamel?
Or like the Smurf
Only
could be
way.
like the lime wedge in your beer.
What?
How do you cook a Smurf?
Yeah.
Would
Do
Gargi
you like-
would Gargi get offended though that you're assuming that he doesn't know how to cook the Smurfs properly?
Oh, that's a good point. You don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
This is a
Gargamel
very
seems like the
difficult
sensitive
question.
type. How do you cook a Smurf?
Oh,
Do you like
yeah.
dip them in the like hot water like a lobster, or
Oh, while they're alive.
Slowly boils to death. Yeah.
well, that's how you do
They're gonna be
lobster?
screaming.
I'm
They're so tiny, you hardly
uncomfortable
hear
with
'em.
how this question is being.
Huh.
Smurf are people too.
No, they're not.
That's
They're
what I
Smurfs.
said.
Let's
They're humans.
How big are Smurfs like this big or like this big? I thought they were like
They're-
this big.
No, Smurfs
Are they
like
really small?
that.
Are they like this tiny? Oh,
Yeah.
well then yeah, you definitely eat them. They're like little
Yeah, they're like
popcorn
bite-sized,
shrimps.
right?
They're like
Okay.
wings.
Like
I like
bonbons.
potato chips.
Bonbons, yeah.
Just-
Ooh, I mean, you kind of want
Ranch
some
and-
carbs
yeah.
to go with your Smurfs, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What if
Lot-
you
lot
had
of
like
protein.
twice baked Smurfs?
Put 'em in a
That sounds
potato?
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
How about a Smurf berry pie?
What if you mama bird a Smurf?
I don't know. I don't know about a Smurf berry
You
pie.
put Smurf
I don't want it
inside of a
sweet.
Smurf.
Come on, don't make it gross, Pope.
Too far.
Jesus.
Is that too far?
That's too far.
Is that too much?
Unbelievable.
You force feed it's like geese, You force feed a Smurf
Yep.
in there.
No, too much.
All right.
All right,
You
we're
guys
burning
said-
through these questions. We only have 3 questions left.
All right.
Okay.
Sharks of Sharks of Truth says
Should I be scared?
we know DCP stance on pineapple pizza and how amazing it is,
Yes.
or pineapple
Yes.
on pizza and
Glorious.
how amazing it is.
Absolutely.
It's
Delicious.
amazing.
Agree
My
with that.
question is, do you do chunk pineapple or crushed pineapple? Crushed pineapple under the cheese will change your life.
What?
What?
Pineapple
Oh, I've
under
never
the
I
had
want to
that.
try it, but
That's
I
new
would
to
be
me.
afraid it would there'd be too much wetness under the cheese. The cheese would just
Here's-
slide right
here-
off the pizza.
yeah.
Here's why that will never happen to me. I like the flavor of the chunk pineapple getting slightly roasted. I like that
Same.
taste. It
yeah,
turns the
that is
pineapple
good.
from bitter to sweet. It releases the sugars. So I don't know.
I'll tell you what though, if I'm ever in Shark's neighborhood there, I'll give it a shot.
Neighborhood
Yeah,
of
you will.
E-Shot.
Although, they say never trust a shark. So Sean Hanlon says, if the world was going to end in 72 hours and a mysterious man hands you a ticket that you would immediately be taken to a spaceship, Pope Bear's Space Force.
Space
apparently.
Force.
Space Force.
So you'd immediately be given a spaceship or a ticket for a spaceship to another planet and live happily for the rest of your life. Or you could deny the ticket and stay with your family and loved ones knowing your impending doom. Which do you choose?
I don't think living out a lonely life on a rock with nothing you would know would.
There are
It's
other
happy.
people
You
there.
said happy. You live happily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a fun
it says
planet.
happily right there.
So
I'm taking
Wait.
the ticket for
So
sure.
for me to be happy on another planet, I will have had to gone to this new planet. They have teleporting technology. I teleport my family to the planet. I'm now happy.
I don't know, man. I think it really specifies your family's going to die here.
yeah. Also, did it specify that there's other people on this planet?
I'm going to make the assumption that you're not the only person who got this ticket.
Huh. So you're some really bad CW show?
Yeah.
Yeah. you're
about
now.
right.
This is like real life 100.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Look, I believe that.
I'm gonna die with my family.
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
Take it.
See, I believe
my
that
wife's
I
not
will be
watching.
doing my family a favor by carrying on and
Guaranteed
remembering them in the
happiness is part
future.
of this. Get to go to another planet, which you never do.
Yep.
The last 72 hours of your life are going to be really chaotic and crazy, knowing you're going to die in 3 days. So what? Forget it.
I see a lot of pluses in going to that other planet,
Yeah.
carrying on,
Yeah.
carrying on, remembering my family,
How about this
taking
ticket
that
technology?
knowledge with me.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, There's a difference between what I say I'm going to do now and what I would actually do.
Right.
I would
gotcha.
prefer to
I gotcha.
die and they stay alive. Like if they're dying, I don't want to be
Oh, yeah,
alive.
can you gift
I'm
that?
Are they
me neither.
serving
That's-
mimosas
that's
on
the
the
nice
spaceship?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Part of the
you see,
happiness
also
package.
the living happily ever after, I'm pretty sure, is marketing. I don't think that's a guarantee.
It's marketing.
Yeah, that's marketing, 100%.
Oh, man. It's clickbait
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Call the
Yeah.
Space Force on them.
Yeah,
Yep.
But dishonest marketing.
just try to
It's
get
not
people to
run
take
by
this
the Space
ticket.
Force.
You're living in some heap hole, no food, just space beans.
All I see in chat is that's a good show, damn it. Is that a real show on the CW?
The 100. I tried. I
No,
tried
the
to.
100 is a good
Okay.
show.
Oh man,
It's really
I tried
good.
to.
No, you got to get past. You got to get past like episode 6, and then it's good.
See, I've heard from so many people that's like, well, the first season's bad. Got to get past that. Well, for 1, 2, and season 1, 2, 3, and 4 is just bad. You got to get past that. Then it starts picking up.
Oh, that's a lot of getting past.
I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, I think the show's bad. Just straight up. Like I tried a few
Get through the
episodes.
first 200 hours.
Basically, if you want to force yourself to face palm constantly, watch the 100. The first few episodes, you're like, oh god.
It's
Oh,
very.
oh
Right, the
my
first few are
God.
very young adult, like BS drama, but then it gets like really intense and pretty good.
Yeah,
That's my
I
recommendation.
don't know.
Is it bad like Supernatural is bad? Or is it
It's a
bad.
CW show.
No, it's better than Supernatural. I mean, I'm someone who
Whoa,
watches.
watch your
all of-
mouth.
Oh boy, whole new battle is
Is it
beginning.
yikes?
Am I gonna get disconnected? All right, to be fair, I barely watch Supernatural, so I won't make too many judgments. But I did watch 10 seasons of Smallville, so I guess I can't talk. But
Real Good Murph says, do I really have to ask questions about farts or bathroom usage to have it read on the podcast?
Yep.
Yes, you do.
That's affirmative. Ghost Rider.
You
And that was
figured it
That was the
out.
last question.
Congratulations.
It's been a while since we've hit all the questions.
Yeah,
That's
Has it?
good.
I think we usually hit them all.
No, I mean when you weren't here, I think we only got through 5.
5 questions.
Oh man, that's funny.
Hilarious.
This is a good show, Paul. Thank you. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Thanks for being on, Paul.
you're a great guest.
Oh,
I like
thanks for
your
having me.
I like your articles. Your great stuff. Where are we gonna? What are you laughing about?
This chat talking about the 100.
Oh my God! Did we strike up a controversy?
I've had multiple discussions in my chat about like shows, and like I gave memes and I gave with 100 a go for like 3 or 4 episodes, and the whole time we were like laughing
not enough.
just constantly
It is
at how
embarrassingly
bad.
bad.
Like I have never just straight up laughed at a show, like at things that they've done in that, and like both of us were like, "This is I can't do this. We just cannot watch a show."
I watched first to a certain point, and I'm just like, I can't. Like the suspension of disbelief meter, the bullshit meter that I have for shows, just got to a point where I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I think we should all watch it, chat, and we'll leave reviews in Paul Tassi's comment section.
Great, thank you. This is why we disable.
Can you give
comments.
us? Can you give us like a 10 reasons why the 100 gets good in an article?
I probably wrote that actually. I'll have to look from a couple of years.
Can you
ago.
link me that one so I can assess whether or not I
Yeah.
want to get into it.
Yes, sure.
All right, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much for watching. I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. Catch my streams twitch.tv/Tefty Teft and YouTube channel Tefty Teft as well with some videos here and there. Yep.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming weekday afternoons. Just look up Briar Rabbit on Twitch. We got a new YouTube channel all about technology, so check that out. Look up for Briar on Tech, and talk to me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just search for Miss 5000 Watts.
Paul, you
Do I go? Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Paul Tassi. I just released a book 2 weeks ago called Hero Killer. It's sci-fi, so
Nice.
check that out if you want to.
Congratulations.
yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Is that
We'll put
available
a-
on Audible?
Not yet. We're working on it. I'm recording it soon.
Not yet. Amazon though.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, yep.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it in the description of the show if you're watching this on YouTube. All right. So, and this has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear. Make sure to follow the show's Twitter at DCP_live or our Instagram at DestinyComPod. Still got to get that DCP_live. Somebody else has it. I don't know why. Anyway.
Who's withholding?
And so
we're going to force them to watch 100 hours of the 100.
That would be the worst. I couldn't do that to anybody. And so
the pilot over and over and over.
Just the pilot. Oh my God, the worst. All right. And you guys pay attention to what's going on here on the show. We have great guests like Paul scheduled all this week. We True Vanguard, we've got great guests coming up for Datto and Triple, and we've got the raid designers from Bungie on. We've got a great lineup leading up to Forsaken, so make sure to check in here every week on Thursday at 6 p.m. and we'll be talking about all the fun stuff, and we'll be doing some Let's Plays together. I'm 100% sure we're going to be putting out some live streams for the Forsaken raid, so make sure you pay attention to our social media. I'm really excited you're going to be there for that, Pope. Yeah, I mean, I've got ahead of it, and I talked to my people that I need to talk to, and it'll be good. It'll be a fun time.
Cool.
All right. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, guys.
And after this show, we are going to be raiding. Hi, my name is Keys. Our Keys channel. So I'm going to be streaming on it after this. So give me a second to. I have to start it up and load it in.
Awesome.
And then we'll.
So we're going to roll some credits, and then we'll be back, read some subs, and then do the host. So see you in a bit, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.